Welcome to the Cum Zone. Only cum inside Anime Girl.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Here we are. Welcome to the official episode 1 of the Dim Frenemies Gaming Podcast. I am woo! Here, I guess we'll just do this. I am Coops. With me, I have the one and only Mr. Sexy Man Otis. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm good. And I guess we'll switch over so everyone can see us, right? There we go.
I love the cum zone.
I know, that's amazing.
If we had the camera on, you would have seen me just like...
yeah, just play it. Just play it one more time for everybody, please.
And me,
Welcome to the Cum Zone. Only cum inside Anime Girl.
Inside Anime Girl.
Anime Girl.
Singular.
And we had to have
One girl.
Yeah, just one. Only one. And we had to have a discussion about that. You're like, should I cut it off a little bit early? It sounds a little... I'm like, no, I kind of like that it's just really scuffed. It just ends at Anime Girl. Like, it's
Anime
just...
Girl.
Yeah, like... Yeah, so it just... I enjoyed that.
It's good.
Yeah. So I hope everyone's good. Everyone's well. Thanks for tuning in, listening, or, chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the maiden voyage. Unless you listen to the 0.5 episode for some reason.
Yeah, that will be uploaded too. Yeah. No, it was good, dude. We had a lot of fun with that. That was fun. We went into 28 years and non-spoiler. That was another thing I forgot to bring up with you was, we could talk about the spoilers of 28 years. I should spoiler it.
I think enough time has passed that it's definitely okay to talk about spoilers now.
Yep, for sure. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to talk about that in this episode or maybe the next episode, but we just probably have enough stuff already to kind of go into.
Sure.
But yeah, so I guess that's that.
We'll decided we wanted to get together to do a podcast just to talk about what we probably talk about when we stream anyways, right? Like video games, just get more in depth with it. Different things coming out, maybe just random online news too, because we're all inundated with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, just streamer drama, slop crap. That's just fun to laugh at and throw tomatoes at, So and then obviously just gaming, because we love games and we play games. I stream, once a year, and and Otis streams way frequently, pretty much weekly, every week,
to the exception of maybe the last week, 2 or 3 weeks.
Whatever. You take breaks, that's all good. Got to recharge.
Yeah, for sure.
But
so what have you been playing, Coops? What have you been?
Well, lately I've been playing Deathstranding 2, any little chance I get. But before that was Dune Awakening, and we'll get into that because I'm really loving Dune. It's pretty fucking good. So you know what I also love doing? Doing 2 chicks at the same time.
See, he makes the joke, but really he's just fucking the Dune bucket that they gave away in the movie theaters for the first one.
God, that was great, dude. You put that butter in there, you lube it up all real nice. It's
just lube it
can't
up real
resist. Nice. Yeah, they kind of
man.
They're the ones that started that trend, didn't they? Wasn't it the Dune bucket? Everyone's like,
no, that literally was a product they had for the first Dune, and then Saturday Night Live made a whole skit with it where they had a song about fucking the bucket.
Yeah, that's right.
So people should know, as long as men are on this planet, if it has any kind of shape that we can stick something into, we're gonna
bang it. Absolutely. Chairs, couches, you'd be anything. So,
Coops mode, anything.
Yeah, if it's warm, moist, doesn't even have to really be wet. We're gonna stick it in it. So, yeah,
it's a great start.
Yeah, I think so. They said they
talk about video games. They're talking about fucking a bucket and each other's moms for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. 2 Ninjas. Yeah, I don't know what I was listening to. This is garbage. Jesus Christ. It's the same thing we hear at anywhere else, but no, this is how it goes. But yeah, so I was playing Dune, but then Deathstranding 2 came out, and I'm like, oh god. So I'm hooked into that right now. I am still in the prologue. We can definitely talk about my early impressions, but they are very early.
Sure.
Like, I'm still like, it's not a spoiler, but you start in Mexico, and that's where I'm at. So if people know, they're like, holy crap, yeah, he's not even to the next area.
So starting, like you said, you're in the prologue still.
Yeah.
But like, do you have to play the first one to get where you're at in the second one? Do you think?
Okay, no, I wouldn't say so, because what I did, right? Because I played through and beat the first one, and I loved it. I loved the first Death Stranding, but you have multiple ways. Now you go on YouTube and just get refreshers, right? You can just watch a 20-minute what happened in the first Death Stranding video, you know what I mean? Like just a synopsis, and have some guy far smarter than me explain it a lot better than I could, because Death Stranding's very confusing and convoluted. I love it. I love the story here. I'm just gonna bring up some Death Stranding stuff, might as well.
It is a Hideo Kojima game.
Yes.
So convoluted and confusing is par for the course.
Yep, absolutely. I'll just bring up. Wow.
So, do you feel like what you've played has been too fun and he should have toned it back?
Yeah, dude, it's way too much fun. It's
Way too
insane.
fun.
Yeah, it's way too much. You gotta tone that back.
I couldn't imagine
can't give
making
everybody
a
all the
game
fun.
that's too much fun.
No, so at least like in the beginning, early on, if you don't like Death Stranding 1, I don't really think this one's gonna sell it for you, and at least in the beginning, right? But the good thing is right off the bat, you do start with weapons. Like in the first Death Stranding, it takes probably 5 to 10 hours before you get your first weapon, and I think it's like a bolo gun.
Kidding.
It's cool. It's a cool gun. It like wraps people's legs up and it like electrocutes them. So I love the gun that you get, but it takes a while. So your first couple of like deliveries are gonna be like just the terrain is your enemy. You know what I mean? And then eventually they do like slowly introduce the threats to you, especially in the first game. So in Death Stranding 2, it's nice that they kind of kick it off right off the bat. Like you start with an assault rifle and a handgun. It's called like a taser. It's actually pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of the taser in Siphon Filter. You can't set dudes on fire, but it's like from a distance it can electrocute them, and it just knocks them right out. So it's really cool. I definitely like that weapon. So and then in the first when you leave like your shelter, your first actual delivery, you can decide, do I want to just like go right into these bandits, like into this camp, or do I kind of take the longer way around and deal with the more mountainous rugged path? So that's kind of nice. So, and if you decide to like, okay, I'm gonna go right for the bandits, on my way back I'll take the other way just to kind of see it, you know what I mean? Because that's what's cool. Like you may find certain things or other like pieces of gear, other things to like weapons or loot, or obviously other packages to deliver. So at least like in the beginning of Death Stranding 2, like I'm in. I'm hooked. I already love it. I know I'm gonna love it, but it is definitely more of the same. You know, I think like if you didn't like Death Stranding 1, I just don't see where it's gonna sell it to you right away. Like if you're just like, I hate. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I didn't even try with the first one just because it didn't, from the onset, didn't look like my type of game.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I like they gave me a couple free codes for it, so it's like cool. I can play it if I want. I don't know if I'm gonna.
Yeah. No,
the stupid thing too is I've got that giant collector's edition for the game too, and I've never cracked.
That thing is cool. It comes with that BB or whatever. That thing is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like. It's like the little baby in it, and then it comes in like a case and everything. The case looks sick.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like a lamp or something. It's like a nightlight. It lights up, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Something like that. I think so. And certain friend we have in common is trying to buy it off of me.
Come on, bro. Does he? Did he play Death Stranding a lot? Did he like the first one?
Dude, he loves it.
Oh, okay, so he's playing.
He loves it. He went all out. Like he actually went on eBay and he bought a Death Stranding 1 PS4 because they had like a limited edition one where it was white and it has like the black handprint on the side of it, and then the controller is a gold see-through controller, like the container that the baby is in.
Oh, geez, that's
so
cool.
Like he just ordered one of those and he wants the collector's edition now. Like he wants a whole Death Stranding setup.
Okay,
like
hot. All right.
Yeah,
I love Death Stranding, but I just bought the digital. Like I'm not a big collector. Like I used to be a little more back in the day. I'd be like, collector's editions, and gotta have them. But
I
Not so
didn't
much
buy it.
anymore.
He's the one that gave it to me because he wanted me to come work for him and quit where I was at.
No, okay.
So that was my bargaining chip. I was like, all right, if you want me to stay away, I know you got these collector's editions for free. Give me it.
That's right. I want that.
And he was just like, all right, fine, gave it to me, and now he's regretting it.
Come on, man. I'll give you $50 for it. Give you a hand job for it. Come on, man. I'll take
cheeseburger.
That's right.
He thought I was you. He thought I'd take payments and cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah, dude. Who doesn't want to? I love taking payments and cheeseburgers, man. I think I have one around here. I got an extra cheeburger around here for some illicit activity I had to do. So,
all right, I'll be right there.
It goes. Yeah.
Be right there.
But so yeah, like I said, I'm real early on. So I've just been delivering back and forth between like these 3 different outposts, I'll call them, and trying to rank up my, just trying to rank my, like each place has like different stars. Like you can get up to 5 stars. You just have to keep on pretty much repeating like delivering packages to them. So you kind of make like a loop. And I check the bandits area every so often to see if they have stuff I can deliver. And so, but the cool thing is once you give them up to 4 stars, they'll give you something like, here's a cool weapon. Like, so you can decide like, I would rather just to do what I got to do the main story, do the actual order, and just move on. You can do that too. But sometimes you'll get like a new gun that you wouldn't have got, like a new handgun or a new assault rifle or like a stronger version of that. So and it's the same way in the first Death Stranding. There was like certain places like you could upgrade and you get like these like exoskeletons, so you can run faster, last longer, better stamina. So and the exoskeletons are really cool. Like so it's just you get some of the best gear and like the cooler stuff, and for doing that. So, but yeah. So far, like I said, I'm real early on. I can tell it's definitely, like I said, I love the first one. I know I'm gonna love this one. So, and then I'm sure, like, well, oops, I'll back my mic, but I'm sure we'll talk about it more, like, the further I get through it.
Yeah, as you get into it. Yeah. The only thing I'll say is, like, watching the, video you have planned, looks like way more action than what I remember seeing in the first one.
Yep, and that's what, like, a lot of the previews and reviews were saying, too. It's definitely a lot more action. And it is, from right off the bat, like I said, like, in the first one, it probably took about 10 hours, well, maybe about 5 to 10 hours to get a gun, to even, like, start to see bandits and have to deal with combat. Where in this, like, you can pretty much deal with it right away. So, but
no, that's cool.
Yeah, so no,
that's good. I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see like where it goes, and I'm seeing like certain things on here as we're watching this, and it's like, holy crap, like that looks cool. I'm
excited for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. But yeah, that's all I got for Death Stranding.
Sure.
I was gonna talk about Dune first, but that's fine. I don't care. That was cool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I guess I jumped the shark.
No, we can jump the shark. No, it doesn't matter. Don't matter what we talk about. It's all good.
So with Dune, yeah, you were telling me a little bit off stream. It's like the online survival sort of stuff, but like what about it that like makes it feel different from something like Valheim or Ark or something like that?
So yeah, like I remember playing Ark with you guys a little bit, and it was fun for me because I was playing with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
With you guys, and we had a lot of fun.
I'm a big deal. I get it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal. So survival games, like the buildcraft survival, they don't really do much for me.
Same.
It's just for whatever reason, like the combat's very mid. Like a lot about it is just kind of bare bones because it's like they almost try to do everything all at once, right? You're building, you're like say for Ark, for example, like you're getting the dinosaurs, you're taming them, you're building, you're going out and fighting, and it's just it doesn't really feel like very satisfying. And I'm in Dune the combat isn't the best either, but for whatever reason, so I'm like, when they first showed Dune, I was like, I don't really think I'm gonna care. It's just like another survival MMO light action RPG, and I like Dune, like the movies, but I haven't read the books or anything like that. I'm not like a big Dune nerd.
Sure.
I think if you love Dune, you'll probably really like this game, but.
I've literally never ingested anything about Dune.
Oh,
whether
so
it's movies, books,
nice,
nothing.
Okay,
I know they take place in the desert, and there's big old worm.
Oh yeah, there's a big old worm, all right. The game, it's cool, and the reason why I get, and the universe is cool too. There's a lot about it I like.
Mhm.
It's very, I hate to compare it to Star Wars, but it is like Star Wars a little meets, but it's a little more serious. It
Sure.
kind of reminds me of almost like Star Wars and Star Trek. It kind of pulls from both. I think it, when I was talking to Fluff about this, I think it's before Star Wars technically, so I think it kind of inspired those, but. I'm like you. I don't know much about the Dune universe besides just watching the new movies, and they were good. I liked them. They were good sci-fi action flicks. There's a lot about them I liked, but I wasn't in love with them or anything like that. I just thought they were
Sure.
good.
Yeah.
So the game. So when they first showed it, like I said, I was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't, I'm sure people will like it, but it's not really for me. It's $50. It looks kind of janky. The combat's janky. Like the graphics are good. Like they're okay. They're definitely not a selling point.
Yeah.
So everything about the game looked mid for the most part. And then I just, but for whatever reason, it just kind of stuck in the back of my mind. I was like, all right, I'm still interested in this game. I don't know why I can't let it go. So it comes out, and I was just kind of watching like other streamers play it, and I was like, damn, this looks kind of cool. Like all of it combined together, like building your base. See, it seemed very intuitive and
Sure.
easy for anyone to pick up. It's not overly complicated. Combat gets better later on. It's not great. It's very mid, but once you start to get better weapons, cooler looking armor, you get like a sword. It's definitely a lot better, and the way like the shields work in Dune is unique. I've never really seen anything like this before where like they'll deflect bullets. They pretty much keep you safe from a lot of different things. If you shoot back, your shield goes down. So like if you shoot back, that's when you're vulnerable. But if you take like cover or reload and then your shield will pop back up. So it's kind of like this back and forth. And when it comes to melee, like let's say you pull out a sword, right? And you have your shield. If you go running at like a ranged guy, you'd think, well, that's stupid. Like he's just gonna gun me down. But your shield can kind of deflect a lot of that because you're not shooting, so you have your shield. And if they're shielded in a melee, the slow blade penetrates the shield. So if you do like a slow, heavy attack, it'll actually go through the shield and actually kill them or hurt them and do a lot of
Wow.
damage.
Oh,
So,
that's neat.
and if you're just, let's say you're hitting them fast, it's just kind of, it still hits them, but it's just like a blue pulse, and it's more like a disorienting dazing, but you can fight through it. But if you want to kill them, you got to go real slow and then take them out. So you imagine like you're trying to slowly, and obviously like if I'm slowly trying to stab you, you can deflect that. So it's like this back and forth of trying to get them tired, slipping up, and tricking somebody to get the kill. So
That's a lot
I
more of
like
like a
that.
deeper combat system than
Yeah.
what I would have assumed it would have had. That's cool.
Yep. It's cool, and it feels cool. It feels satisfying. Like it's not great though. The melee is very mid. Like if they were leaned into a little bit more like Batman or Assassin's Creed, or even like Ghost of Tsushima, where it's visceral, it's faster. I'm not saying like gory, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But just a little more. It needs more like polish. It needs more oomph behind it. It feels very lackluster. Not a lot of impact. AI's they're pretty dumb. They do just kind of rush to kill you or shoot at you. The only
Sure.
time you really die or go down is if you're overwhelmed. And there's certain
Is there PvP
there
in the
is.
game? There is, right?
Yep. The end game pretty much people are kind of complaining about the end game right now because it relies heavily on PvP.
Okay.
And that's where everyone's a little disappointed because like the first 50 to maybe I'll say 50 to 100 hours of the game are this you can play with your friends too, but like kind of solo building your base, going out looking for supplies and exploring. And you explore kind of like these points of interest. You might find like a crashed ship. You would find like kind of what we're looking at right now, like a dungeon. They're almost like dungeons, like an underground area to explore, and you get tons of loot, gear. You might find weapon schematics, for like exotic weapon. I don't know if they're called exotics, but like legendary weapons that you can craft. So you have like better weapons, swords, daggers, guns. You may like craft a green version of that gun and then find like a schematic for like a purple version of it. And then it's like, oh, it's like just cooler, stronger. It might have a different firing style. But all in all, like what's got me hooked on Dune is just the loop of getting gear, going out, getting like materials like ore, um,
Sure.
just all the different things you can find, bringing it back to your base, like throwing it in your storage, and then like,
Yeah.
okay, so what can I build? And what he's doing right now, for example, is like the blood purifiers. And for Dune, one of the biggest things, you need to stay out of the sun because the sun is like extremely hot, and it'll give you like sunstroke, and it makes
Okay.
you drain water faster, so you need to drink more often. It's not that obnoxious, to be honest. Just stay in the shade. If you're out in the sun for too long, you just get, you know what I mean? You're just going to drain water faster. It's really not that obnoxious of a mechanic. Early on,
Yeah.
when you first start, the water, it is kind of obnoxious. It's a little annoying. It's like, Jesus, I'm like dying of thirst all the time. And you might die a
Yeah.
couple times. It's not too punishing of a death unless the worm gets you, and I'll talk about that later. But if you die from like bandits or like thirst, something like that, you can just like you just respawn, you can go get your gear, recover your backpack, and you'll be all right.
So can somebody else take your gear on if it's on the ground, like you died and someone finds your body?
As far as I know, no, unless you're in a PvP area. If you're in a PvP area and you get ganked, then yes, I believe they can take. I don't know if they can take. I think they take everything, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% on that.
Sure.
But in terms of like, what's keep me going back and it's got me going is like, so like, yeah, so for water, for example, that's very important. It's on the, our little lamp is blocking it, but it's on the lower left-hand side is you have like a water gauge. So you need to like have a canteen of water on, you got to drink water. And then in the beginning, you find these flowers that have like dew on them, and you can just, you have to harvest and drink water from there. Yeah. You have to slurp it up. Like, oh God. And then, I'm dying. And it only feels like your water gauge like a quarter. You're not getting a lot of water from that. So that's kind of the beginning annoyance. You're really running around in the desert searching for this dew and exploring like maybe like little scavenger camps, trying to kind of get gear that way. And then eventually you get enough materials from mining ore and granite stone, and that's how you build your first base. And the cool thing about it is, and I'll go off on just a quick tangent, there's a game that came out called Once Human. And I downloaded it, I played it, I wanted to love this game, and it is a good game. It reminds me of like Division. The way it plays, the way it shoots, it really plays like The Division. But like, it's a live service game where they update it. You have quests to do. And I just really wanted to get into it. But the number one thing that I just give up every time is it's overwhelming. There's way too much shit to do. I don't know what I should be working on. There's building. There's you can make buildings. You can pretty much do everything that you can in this. But the difference is Dune really streamlines it. It makes it like, this is what you're going to be doing, and then you're going to be build this, then do this. Like on the screen, if you see, it's under the purple is like the main quest, like locate the second trial. Like, every little thing you're what you're going to do next, and it'll tell you, okay, now you're going to build your base, now you're going to build a water purifier, or a blood purifier, and it's helping you to expand, like, oh, this is how I survive, this is how I'm able to explore further. Eventually you're going to craft a still suit. The game's going to tell you, craft your first still suit. And that's what in Dune, what the still suits do is it recycles your sweat, or all of your bodily fluids, your piss, your poop, all of it, and it recycles it into water. If you hook it up wrong, you'll poison yourself, obviously, because you'll be drinking feces. But if you hook it up right, you get water from it. So, but yeah, it's kind of funny. It's funny to think about. Yeah, that's kind of funny to think about it. You just go through the death, because I would hook it up wrong. I'm a complete fucking idiot. I would do it way wrong. I'm like, oh, I'm so thirsty. Okay, I gotta engage my still suit, and then it's just a giant dump is just queued up waiting for me. It's gonna shoot right down my throat. Just Oh, Scott! I gotta choke it
it's
down.
on the screen right now.
That cat food. Yeah,
Cat
exactly. But yeah, dude, I would totally screw that up. But
Yeah.
you,
No,
so
it
yeah, you
sounds
get
awesome though.
yeah, you get water from that. So it's the loop of just getting further, going along, exploring. You've got points of interest. You have other players running around that you can decide, oh, okay, I want to help them, or I can ignore their existence completely. Like this, he's building a little base right now. You're gonna run into all these types of bases. There are other players that have built them, so and if someone abandons it, like I really need to check on my base. I'm kind of nervous about it. If someone abandons it over a long period of time, you can actually break into it and steal all their crap. It's to prevent people just like building tons of bases and leaving the game. And then they're just big bases that, you know what I mean? Other people could utilize that space. So, and I think you can build up to 3 bases in this game. I've only built 1. I've built 2, but I abandoned my old base because that's what I had to. That was a part of the main storyline. It's like I had to. So I have another base.
That's what all dads say. They have to leave.
Yeah, I had to. I had to get the milk. I had to get the milk and cigs. The game made me. So
yeah, sure it did.
Yep. But it's really just the loop, right? It's just the combat it gets better. It gets a little more satisfying. It's definitely not the main draw of the game though. It's more or less the exploration. You're exploring these areas. You're getting into skirmishes. You're fighting. You're looting. The mining little game. It's not a mini game, but the way you mine things, you can just like shoot it with your mine gun. But
I see you have to do a line.
Yeah,
if you trace a line that like breaks it down.
Yep,
I like that.
It's really satisfying. It's really cool. And you don't have to do that. You can just sit there and hold it, but you're not going to get as much materials, and it's going to take longer. So they give you some kind of. Go ahead.
It's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Fortnite did it first.
Oh yeah, I guess the target the it's like Simpsons did
Fortnite
it.
Inspired Dune.
Oh, you take those words out of your mouth.
If somebody comes across this podcast that doesn't know like us, they'll be like, "Oh man, that guy's a Fortnite shield. He must love Fortnite."
Yep.
Yeah, that's totally why I brought that up.
Yeah. Just
Fortnite's
do that.
my favorite game ever.
Just compare everything to Fortnite. Well, but it's as good as Fortnite. How's the gunplay? Is as good as Fortnite's? You can build in Fortnite too. Yeah, you can survive in Fortnite. Fortnite has all the same crap. Like, why are you playing this?
Can you do this dance? Well, you're you're playing Dune.
Exactly. God, I think there were Dune characters in Fortnite too. I don't know. There probably was.
I'm sure there was.
There probably was. Yeah, the Timothy Chalamet main character idiot. But so far it's good. I'm really enjoying it. And you know, I definitely see. I'm just taking a small break because of Deathstranding, but I'm definitely pumped to go back and play. I'm gonna have to boot it up just to make sure they don't like rob me blind. They don't take everything in my base.
Coop it.
Yeah, no, I can feel it. I sense it. But and for people, you're gonna hear probably the phrase and term cooping games. I should put our names up there because people aren't going to know who's who. That's the one thing.
That's only the first episode.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I forgot.
This is your reminder.
But I'm Otis.
Coops.
No, I'm Otis.
I am Otis. Okay, he's right.
No,
fuck, I messed it up already.
Yep. Nope, I am Coops. Yep, that guy. We're here. Yep, that guy's Otis.
And
I'll put
if you do hear that phrase, cooping a game, that is when you start a game. You get real excited about it, and then the next day you never play it again.
Yeah, it's the exact next day.
You might have hit something, by the way.
Oh, did I? Oh no, there you go.
Hey, I'm back.
There you go.
Yay.
He's back. Every so often it goes black like that, and it's not my end. That's weird.
It might just be something like it's refreshing, but if it dips off and dips back on,
just let me know. Just let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
But all of it, and like on what you're seeing on the screen now, you have like level up mechanics. And as you level up, you can craft more gear. You do research into like, okay, I'm gonna research this armor, then you can craft it. You research like new building materials, new like storage, new also everything, and then and then you just can build it, and then you just kind of like, build up your base. Do I need more ore? You kind of activate your little mining refineries. You kind of do everything your little tasks, and then you're like, okay, drop all my stuff off and go out on a run. So, and I'm just kind of hooked on that loop right now. So, and
no, that's awesome.
And the traversal feels really good too. The way you move throughout the world, like you have it's called like the Shigawire Claw, I think it's what it's called, and it's a hook shot. You know what I mean? It's just you can just drink and you can like fly and the way you can like climb up like mountains and stuff like that and move. It's really cool. It's satisfying, and then you get some sort of like propeller, not a propeller. I can't remember what they're called, but you can like float. Like if you'll see them in Dune, like if you ever decide to watch the movies, but like you can like use your momentum and launch yourself and like kind of fly through midair. So it's really satisfying. Or you can like climb and like hook shot your way up, and you'll just like use that momentum to shoot yourself even higher in the air. So, or you can like,
very cool.
or before you hit the ground, you can like float down. So they're not like jets, like you can't just take off like Superman. It's more like a floating, and you can use them in combat too. Like you can like hook shot and float in midair and kind of, but the momentum of like you still have the speed, your momentum of how you shot yourself off, and then you can like shoot in midair. So it leads for some kind of cool combat, mechanics, and so, and the way you can, and you can use it to escape too. Like it's just, you can just be gone. So the way you traverse and move throughout the world is really satisfying, and eventually like you get like an ornithopter, which is like a flying helicopter. That's like pretty late into the game though. I'm not even close to that. And then like I have like a dune bug. It's not the buggy, but I have like a sand bike. So, and I have storage on the back, so I just take it with me, and as I'm looting places, I'm loading that thing up, and then you have like personal inventory as well. So, but yeah,
very cool.
I'm enjoying it. Definitely talk about it more the deeper I get into it. So, but yeah, anything else? Anything more you want to talk about Dune before we move on?
No. I mean, that's a great like synopsis of it. I mean, it's kind of making me potentially consider loading it up just to see. I don't know if like where you're at with like a new player, if it's like it's a lot of work. So we'll see, but I'll look into it.
Yeah. Let me know, dude, because you could join my server. I could help you too. So no, that'd be a lot of fun if you decide that I want to check it out, because I think you'd have fun with it. But just watch a good preview, because like I said, every part of it's pretty weak. You know what I mean? Like this, like the story, it's meh. The combat's meh. Like nothing about it is amazing, but the sum of its parts, playing all together, I'm really enjoying it. So, but you, if you, like I said, if you go into it kind of understanding and knowing that, like, you definitely could have a good time with it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Dune.
Cool.
I guess next we can talk about Borderlands 4.
Oh,
Borderlands, and I'll bring up there's a preview for that too. I'll bring that up.
So Borderlands 4, I think I would file under the category of like not really hyped for it, but I guess more than just like meh about it. If that makes sense.
For sure.
Because like I don't know, with Borderlands, it's always like it's the same thing every time, right? And it's like all of them, like Diablo, Destiny, Borderlands, Division, all of these like looter shooter, or looter in Diablo's case, hack and slash, they are all pretty much the same. They're all going to be the same thing. It's just what can they do with it to make it worth the $70 that Randy Pitchford made a big deal about.
Come on, you poor bastards, you can buy it. Stop bitching about it.
A real fan will find a way.
I know, I'm just saying, that is really, come on, man. Like, he can't help but put his foot in his mouth, can he? Like, dude.
No, I was watching a video where like somebody was like trying to give Randy Pitchford the benefit of the doubt. Like they interviewed him at like some sort of thing, a couple months before it came out, and he's like, I really don't know what the price of it is gonna be. But that was like his stance he was taking. Like, we don't know what it's gonna be, but if it's $80, a real fan will figure out how to pay it. But like, you mean to tell me you're the creative director and you don't know how much the game is months before it comes off?
No, he's
got out of here, Randy Pitchford. You know how much it was gonna fucking cost.
Yep. I don't know why everyone. And isn't it $70? Isn't there a $70 edition of it?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's $70, and then like a deluxe is 100, and then a super deluxe is 140, and then the
yeah.
collector's is like 250 and doesn't come with the game.
Why did they do that? That's so stupid. Why
Dude,
wouldn't they throw a
it's
digital code in with that? If
dude, I don't
anything,
know. That's the thing. Like usually it's like, oh, okay, well we'll do a digital code at least. But like
right?
this, they're like, no, there's no game for you. And it's not the first time that Borderlands has done something like that.
Yeah,
But like with Tiny Tina, they had like a Tiny Tina's like loot chest edition or something like that.
yeah.
But they never advertised it as being the game. They said it was a collector's chest. It is separate from the game and it's something you can get extra. Well, it's like this sort of feels like they're treating it like it's part of the game but just doesn't have the game. So like I don't know. I don't know who makes these business decisions, these marketing decisions, like
And we're all
I
gonna
don't know,
see
man.
that Borderlands 4 made blah blah blah, like tons of money and outsold Borderlands 3 already by this time, or
Yeah, well,
so
that's the thing too. There's a lot of
it
like
should be okay.
newer games that have come out that still aren't sharing their sales numbers. Like
True.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, we have no idea how well those sold.
Still, I'm
Doom,
surprised.
Doom Dark Ages,
Oh
like
yeah,
we
they're
don't
kinda
really
hiding
know
that
how
one.
much they've sold because they came out and they went, we had 3 million players. This is amazing. But 80% of that was Game Pass. 80% of that, like 3 million or like something, like maybe not 80, maybe like 60%. Some majority percent is Game Pass.
Mhm.
So like they didn't buy the game. They're sitting there like we had 3 million players. Woo! Treating it like they made 3 million in sales, but they didn't.
Oh, I hear that.
It's just like the Game Pass freebies that people downloaded and played. So like I don't know. With Borderlands, I don't think we're going to get any like unless it actually sells really, really well, I don't think we're going to get any numbers or anything like that. I think now AAA companies are too scared to share that they're not selling as well as they should. And it's because indies are killing it
Yeah.
and AAAs are kind of literally killing it.
Yeah. This is 4. Yep, yeah, this is 4. Okay. Yeah, like so when they first talked about Borderlands 4, I was like, okay, of course, like duh, they're making Borderlands 4. And
Yeah.
I love Borderlands. Like I remember when the first one came out, it was something special. I remember getting it working at the big game store. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. And I loved it. I was like, this is cool. I like the art style. I remember seeing it on the cover of Game Informer, and it looked like Rage or Fallout. Like it had this,
Yeah.
it looked like it didn't have this cartoon. Well, it really cartoony art style. You know what I mean?
No, it's cartoony.
Cell shaded. Cell shaded.
Cell shaded is cartoony,
Yeah.
for sure.
But but when I got my hands on it, played it, I loved it. It was really cool. The story was fine. It was funny, had a good sense of humor, but more or less just the gunplay felt cool, and getting all the unique guns and all different types of guns with different, obviously like different statistics, things they could do. So I loved Borderlands, and playing it with your friends just made it that much better. Like it was so much fun.
Sure.
So Borderlands 2 came out, and it was just even better. Like they had a great villain with Handsome Jack. Better variety of guns.
An actual story.
Right, an actual story.
Yeah.
It was well written. It was really good.
Borderlands 1 is my favorite, but it
Yeah.
has no story.
That's
And 2
true.
was
It's-
like, let's actually put in a story.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was pretty lackluster, but I just remember like just loving the game so much. Like it was just so much fun. I didn't even really care about the story. But you're right. With Borderlands 2, they put a lot more effort into that, and it was just ultimately it was kind of all around perfect. I mean, not perfect,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. It was just great. It was fully realized. Borderlands 3 came out, and what I'll say for me, it's the one that I can really go back and replay the most because I love the gunplay, the enhancements they've made. The guns are a lot more unique. I love the two different, like, some can shoot missiles. They all have like alt fires, but story wise, it's the weakest. I like Zane. Like I like the one of the Vault Hunters. I always use him. I like his abilities, but in terms of the actual story itself, it was okay. A lot of people do shit on it. I thought it was fine. I thought there was moments there was funny moments and beats that I remember enjoying and I laughed at. But then there was plenty of dumb shit and cringe too. But ultimately I enjoyed Borderlands 3. I don't think I ever did play any of the DLC. I played a little bit of it. But I just love it's to me it's like my comfort game. I just go back to it, I play, run around, shoot, I enjoy it.
I mean,
have
a
a good
lot
time
of
with it.
like looter shooters, they
Yeah.
are the perfect kind of comfort
You
game where
got
you
it.
just turn your brain off
Yep.
and you just go. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone back to Diablo 2 when I haven't had something that I could
Right.
play, and it's just like, yeah, Diablo 2 's simple. I know what I'm getting into with Diablo. I don't have
Yep.
to pay attention to it. I can still find gear and be like, oh, that's super cool, and just shut my brain off. So I totally
Yeah.
get that with Borderlands, how it's like the comfort. And like with 4, I mean, visually, it does look pretty nice because this is what you have playing right now,
Yep.
right? Is 4?
Yep.
Like visually, it does look really nice. Have you seen the ridiculous like requirement specs that they have out?
Oh no. No. So they have the
Like
system
they're
specs
like,
for it.
yeah, you know how they'll have like a minimum requirement and then a recommended,
Yep.
right? Like the recommended is like a 5090.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, wait, what?
That's disgusting.
Why?
5090.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of
Oh my
sense. And I
God.
mean, like looking at it, yeah, it looks like it'll be a very pretty game to look at,
Mhm.
but I don't know.
Not
man.
5090.
Like, I don't need it at 4K with ray tracing on a
No.
40-inch monitor and have everything be
Well,
at 144 frames for the refresh rate.
Well, Otis, I want the 4K monitor with the refresh
No, no
rate
4K
and all that.
monitor, no ray tracing. No, you
Oh,
don't need it.
Bro, I was the one that showed you Cyberpunk ray tracing, and you changed your mind. You're like, "Holy shit, this is amazing."
I literally passed out on the drive home from your place with how bored I was with it.
Yeah, you were not impressed. I was like, "Dude, come on, bro. You have to admit this is
You ever come over
ridiculous."
and looked at it, and I'm just like, it's good.
We worked. We used to work with each other. We at the big game store, and then we took another job and worked with each other and drove each other crazy. But
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you got to come over and see Cyberpunk with ray tracing, with all the crap. It looks so good. It's so amazing. And he's like, okay. And then you come over. I'm like, it's so good. And you were like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's fine. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's great, buddy. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna go
Dude, I'm
home
just
now.
like-
This is weird.
I'm-
This is really awkward, buddy.
yeah, you say I'm gonna go home, but then I ended up, wasn't that one of the nights I stayed at your
You
place
might
and woke
have.
up with a sore ass?
Oh, you said you wouldn't talk about that.
Yeah, oh, you're right. I shouldn't
Yeah.
have talked about it.
You
No,
signed
I
the
just
NDA.
like I. I totally get why there are people that are like that, where they, like, I need to play at 4K and have it be at least like 100 frames
Yeah.
and blah blah.
Sure.
Like, I get it, but like, I don't know, man. For me, it doesn't really feel like the human eye can compute really much more than what we're getting out of it now.
Yeah.
Like, going from 144 hertz to a 240 hertz refresh monitor, you cannot tell. And you're gonna get those like actually
Yes, you
can.
can't tell.
You're lying. You are lying.
Yeah.
You cannot tell. You are making it up.
Yeah.
You are trying to come up with an excuse for why you spent so much money on something you didn't need, and it's okay.
It's okay.
Stop pushing it on people.
Right. No,
I know who you are.
yeah.
Stop pushing it on people.
I used to be a lot worse about that, especially with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk warped my brain. I had to make sure I went out. I got a 3070. I upgraded my computer. I wanted to be ready for it. I wanted to run like butter. I wanted to be smooth. Like, I was
Yeah.
so ready for it. And
Well, Cyberpunk is different though, because that is like, you were really pumped for that.
I was.
And I get the same way. If there's something that I'm really pumped about,
yeah,
I want to try to make it the best experience
Yeah.
of that version I
Yep.
can get.
and
So,
that's
like,
how
I
I
get
was. Yeah, and I used to be 10 times worse about it. Like, I was pretty bad about stuff like that, really nitpicky. And now as I've gotten older, and like I said, I just want the game to look decent and run smooth. 60
Yeah.
frames, 120 would be nice. 120 is preferred, but 60 at least a solid, consistent 60 frames. And I play at 2K. You know what I mean? So 1440p
Yeah.
on my computer is good enough for me. I don't care about 4K. I think a lot of the games look good, run well. And because the problem is when you're upgrading to 4K and shit, you're gonna need a beefy graphics card. And ray tracing
Yeah.
is completely overrated. Certain games like Cyberpunk and games it looks nice. It's cool to see all the reflections, the rain, the way puddles of water reflect, but it is one
Sure.
of those things that's overrated. You turn it off, you will never notice it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to me, like the ray tracing and all that, that's like if you have a monster rig or you're like demoing it, you want to show it at its best. You know, you
Yeah.
see those YouTube videos of the guy, they're walking through the streets of Night City, and that's when you have ray tracing and all that stuff on. But if you want, if you want to have a solid, smooth experience with a good PC, let's say not a high end, but let's say like if you're in like a 2080, 2070, that type of range, you're not having ray tracing on. That's just all there is to it. So
Nope.
And that's ridiculous for this. This just looks a little bit nicer than Borderlands 3. I know that it's a little more, it's a little bit bigger, but it's the same thing of why Call of Duty is 300 gigs. They do shit about optimizing their games. There is no reason this needs a 5090. They're just like, get a 5090 and it's going to run easier. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to optimize it and try to, like, you know, make sure that the game runs well or it has, like, it'll have DLSS and all that crap for sure. But but I'm curious to see what the minimum specs are.
The minimum requirements?
Yeah.
I want to say the minimum requirements, and I might be making this up. I might be mixing up a conversation I had with McJoven.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I wanted to say, like, the minimum requirements were something like a 2070 Ti or a 3070.
Ooh. Yeah, that's... Yeah, a lot of people... I mean, yeah, a lot of people probably have 30 series cards by now, but... I don't know. 2080s were great. They should still be.
Yeah, they're still pretty strong.
Yeah, they're strong cards. So they're just not optimizing games. But hopefully that's where like FSR, DLSS will help people pick up, and because again,
SMD.
Yeah. SMD is that is this right? SMB, LOL, KEKW. Hopefully they make sure that the frames run good and yeah. So. That's what everyone's gonna have to like rely on. I am, or I'm playing it on PS5. So
that's what I'm doing. It's crossplay anyways, and I know like McJoven is gonna play it, and I think like his wife, and they're probably gonna play it with some other people.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just check out a copy from work and play it on PS5. There's no reason for me to get it on PC and spend money on it.
Right. So, but
like
we'll see.
It looks. I mean, it just looks like another Borderlands. I'll be curious to see what the classes are when they come out. The one thing, and I know they're not going to do this, but the one thing I'd like them to piss off about is like balancing.
Yeah,
it's a single player game. Don't worry about balancing shit because shit feels too strong. Make everything strong.
Yeah,
like
I could see that.
My biggest issue I had with 3 is I played Flak.
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember Flak, the character that used the pet or whatever.
Yeah.
And like when the game first came out, there was a build you could do, and I didn't know it was a regular build that everyone else did. I just like making crit builds in games. So I was like, cool, I'll make this and have a crit build.
Yeah.
And apparently it was so strong that everybody glommed onto it. And I'm not saying I set the build. Like other people did it. I never went online with it. It's just what I played.
It's happened.
And everybody used it. And then 2K or Gearbox or whoever, they're just like, yeah, no, we're going to nerf this. And
Too much fun.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are you nerfing a single player? But this is a single player experience where no player gets an advantage over any other player for anything other than fun. So let me get this straight. You made one character more fun than the others, and instead of making the other ones more fun, you lowered the fun of the one?
That's what I mean. Like they could, if their things. Well, we don't want that to be the meta where everyone just uses this one build. It's like, okay, I get that, but
it's
then you need to up everything else around it. Then make everything. You know what I mean? Like that's on you to make the balancing better. Because Borderlands, and it looks like from watching this too that the enemies are real tanky, and especially like the more and more you play through the game and you level up I can't remember what it's called, but like where you make the game harder. You can be like level 3, level 4.
Badass levels.
Yes, the badass levels. Thank you. That's where enemies get even tankier and tankier. So if you find that good build and it's kind of broken, like, I mean, you almost have to rely on that. But at the same time, I understand that I don't like where there's just like, dude, this one build, it makes everything obsolete. I'm with you though. I would rather them just, okay, we know that build's fun. We have to rebalance it a little bit, but so it's not so broken, but it's going to be awesome.
If they
and then we're going to
like minor tweaks, minor
tweaks.
That's fine, but that's not what they were doing.
No, they nerfed the shit out of it. And so
it's just So I hope with this one they don't fall into that same trap, but they might. I don't know. I don't even know how many classes there are in it. I don't know much about any of it
I think
going into it, but yeah, I'll probably play it.
Yeah, there's the 4 different Vault Hunters. I only know 2
Is
of
it
them.
just 4? Okay, I wasn't sure.
There's gonna be
6.
more. There's gonna be more. I think if you buy the season, you know what I mean. You get the other 2. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if they're right away. They're unlocked or story. You know what I mean. Throughout the story, you can get them. But the ones that I know of that they've shown, there's Rafa, and he's the dude that I'm gonna play as is Rafa. He has an exoskeleton. He's like the soldier. So he can use like melee blades. His exoskeleton can turn into like a turret. So that's gonna be the dude. I'm typically the soldier. That's what I like.
Yeah,
to play
that's
as.
usually your archetype you pick.
And then
that's cool.
This is Vex, I believe, and she's a siren. So she has she can like summon other like they're like spectral beings that help her fight. Like what are they called? Like she's like a summoner. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. So whether it's a necromancer.
Yeah,
or,
kind of a necromancer type thing. But no, she looks cool. But no, the game looks good. You're right. It's very Borderlands. They've added like better like movement mechanics too. You can float through the world. You can it's like Dune. You have a grappling hook. You can dash. So I like that.
Yeah.
I do like that they've added some more movement mechanics to it. The guns, they've added like different new manufacturers, and so you're gonna see different style weapons and combinations of guns. So yeah, I think it'll be cool. And it's supposed to be a lot more open. It's not like a complete open world, but a much bigger open areas. So and
that's cool.
Yeah, and what they've said is they don't want it to feel like, okay, you're in this big open area and there's just like kind of roaming packs of enemies and there's really no reason to stop. Because that's how Borderlands to me has always been. Yeah, you got to hop in your vehicle and travel from point to point, but the drive in between, it's like you're just kind of driving past everything. So there's going to be like certain like events that happen, special bosses that you can find. So there's going to be more reasons to kind of like slow down, not just ride your vehicle through everything. So
Dude, I'm at the risk of going on a tangent.
Yeah,
maybe
no,
it's
you're
something
fine.
we could have a discussion on a later podcast.
Okay, sure. Make a note of it
But,
for sure then.
I really want to talk about how sandbox games are ruining games for me.
Dude,
How open world
I know.
is ruining it for me because I'm playing through Stellar Blade right now. And I don't think I've played a game that didn't need open world like less, more, whatever. It doesn't need open world, and it's open world with nothing in it. And all I've heard is good things about the game.
Yeah,
Stellar Blade's great. Stellar Blade's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't agree. And I feel like the developers rested solely on you're going to be looking at our character's ass the whole time, so you won't care about what the world's filled with.
Right, you're just looking at
and
these...
like, dude, and it's like so many things are doing that. Like, I'm about to go on a tangent.
No, go ahead.
Stellar Blade was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
For the open world, the gameplay, like I like the combat and I want to keep playing it, but I'm so bored because everywhere I just have to run everywhere. You don't get a vehicle. There's fast travel, but it's not. You have to go to fast travel points to use the fast travel.
Oh, that's annoying.
You can't just open your map and use
just
it
go
somewhere.
Yep.
But then like the Neo 3 alpha, it's an open world game.
Oh, is it really? I haven't played it yet. I haven't played it. Yeah.
Neo 3 is going to be an open world game, much like Elden Ring.
Okay.
So what it is it's not as big as Elden Ring, obviously. But you remember in Neo 1 and Neo 2, you could pick stages and then you would go to those levels. And they were, whether they were small, medium, or large levels, but they were big levels. So they use that same format where you pick a mission, but then that mission's level is a big open world.
Really?
There's no linear path to get to where you need to go. You can take many paths. There are side monsters you can fight, world bosses you can fight, and I do like some of that to an extent.
Yeah.
But now that's going to be every mission. And then think of how many missions in Neo 1 and Neo 2 repeated the levels.
Oh, yeah, they did all the time.
You do a mission, and then you go back to the level that you've already been to like an hour ago.
Yeah.
But you didn't get any of the fast travel points. So that means it's going to open up an open world that you've already been to and explored fully and start you at the beginning and have you go somewhere else on the map that you can't fast travel to, even though you've been at that map already.
And they did the last Ronin. What was it? Was that last Ronin? Am I right?
Last Ronin?
Yeah, the last Ronin. What was their game? What, last one they did?
No, I mean, the last Ronin was the game. Did the same people that did Neo did that?
I thought so. I thought that's not Team Ninja, is it?
Oh
my god, I can yeah, look this. I think I'm blanking. I think it's the same developers, right? Neo and
Let me see.
Wulong. Is it Team Ninja? Koei Tecmo?
I don't know. I think it's Koei Tecmo.
Okay.
The Last Ronin video game is developed by Forest Games. So no, that's a different dev.
It was a different dev. Oh, okay.
That's a different dev.
Oh,
But Last Ronin was another one too, where it was a big open world
with nothing.
I had fun for the first 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then I unlocked every weapon in like 8 hours. And after like 10 more hours of it, I got really bored because it was just a big open world with nothing in it. And I fucking hate that Elden Ring was such a successful game.
I know.
Because the game itself was great. But everyone now goes, get open world, let's do an open world game.
So,
like,
you're right. Yep. No, you're right. And what happened though, right? Open world, we were getting sick of them. I love open world games. I loved them. Oblivion, Witcher 3, these games that to me, they really did a good job of populating their open worlds. Things to find, incentives to explore, really good side quests that kind of, if you're like, okay, I'm kind of bored of exploring, let's do some side quests. So I'll do a main quest. But like, those are the games, that's why they're 10 out of 10. Skyrim, they felt like, much as Bethesda gets shit on and their combat's mid, but I loved Skyrim when it came out. So open world games were awesome. And then you're right, we got sick of them. And then we got inundated with open worlds like that just didn't make sense. They did not need to be open worlds. Like Gears of War 5 tried it. It wasn't really, they just had big open areas. And they would put little things in it, but it was like, this is kind of dumb and boring. And like you said, Ghost of Tsushima I thought was a pretty good open world. Like I thought that was
excellent.
good.
I have no problems with Ghost of Tsushima.
There's always exceptions to that rule. But then all of a sudden it flipped. They realized, okay, people are getting sick of open worlds. We're gonna try to kind of give those the maybe like open-ish, but better, denser packed areas, right? Like this might be smaller, but it's cooler. You know what I mean? We're gonna put more shit in it, and like that's what we're all kind of like. Yeah, do that. We'd rather have it be a linear experience or at least an open-ish experience if you're gonna pack it with great meaningful content, whether it's events, things to find. Because like I always love open world, but you're right. Now the zeitgeist is like, oh, Elden Ring, everything's got to be open world again, and that's gonna shoot them in the fucking foot again when they're gonna start releasing like. But if they do a good job, and it looks like certain games that are coming out, Ghost of Yotai, Deathstranding 2, you could argue it's an open world game kind of. It's very huge. I mean, these areas are huge, and so much of it you're never gonna see. But they do a good job of like you don't have to really go off the beaten path much. You do and don't. It's hard to kind of describe it, but yeah, I see your point. I hope they don't start going back into this like open worlds with nothing in them, with just complete waste. Why is this? I can't think. I'm blanking right now. Really good games that are like this. Something
just open worlds with nothing in them.
Yeah, open worlds with nothing in them. Like
I mean, there's a lot, but it is hard to just put. Like, I mean, this is a topic I literally just brought up.
No,
so
that's fine. No, it's a great topic. It's just right off the bat. It's like I can't really think of like. There's a lot of games that way. Like Final Fantasy 13 was like linear for most of the game, and then it kind of opened up, and it was just like this kind of sucks. 15, I enjoyed 15 in the beginning, but the open world was okay. I wasn't really blown away.
Yeah,
it was prettier. It looked cool.
It's a very pretty open world.
Yeah.
And do you remember I actually tried to get through that when I had like the monster truck, so I could drive off the road, and I was still like. This is kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I mean, I am biased against open world games.
That's
I will
fine.
say that.
Yeah, you can be. I
usually if
them.
a game is open world, I already detract a point from
it.
Because I'm like, unless you're gonna blow me away with like something about it, I'm sure you're not going to do this right.
Yeah.
And it just depends on the game.
Yep.
Very hit, very miss. Like Nier Automata is a game that's very similar.
I wanted to bring that up.
In a lot of
in
a lot of ways, Nier Automata is very similar.
I like
to
the combat.
I think Nier Automata is a way better game.
Yeah.
Like the combat is fun in both games. I do think it's a little better in Nier.
Okay.
But the open world, it's not that big.
You just
in Nier Automata.
No, there's nothing
in it. It's really not that big.
Yeah.
There's there's a couple different biomes you go to, but there's pretty much a straight line to every path you got to go down.
True.
There isn't like, make sure you go around this corner and you'll find a chest with something in it, or there's none of that stupid BS that I can remember.
Okay.
But then in Stellar Blade, it just, man, you get to this desert biome and like you literally have to hoof it everywhere. Which again, they probably designed that way because they're like, yeah, well, we gave you something to look at.
And that feels, you're right, exactly. And that's padding, you know what I mean? That just feels like padding at that point. Like, get those numbers up there. You know, if there's nothing in here, why do I have to run? Why not just shorten the desert? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to give me the illusion of an open world, that's okay, fine. You know, God of War did a really good job at that. The new ones, even the old ones kind of did that. It did a really good job of kind of giving you an illusion that an area is a lot bigger than it actually is. You know,
yeah. The newer God of War is a great example.
Yes,
like
they're great examples.
I mean, they're not like fully open world.
No,
I mean, I guess I didn't play Ragnarok, so I don't know.
But Ragnarok's the same way.
2018.
Yep.
Like they were like linear that opened up into spots that were kind of bigger.
Yep.
But then it would go back to linear when it's like, okay, you're on the story. All right, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
And that's what I wish all of these games would do. Like, I would probably say Stellar Blade would be one of my favorite games I played this year if it was fucking linear.
Yeah.
If it was just, hey, this is where you're going, this is why you're doing this, go here, go do this. But when it's like, you know, every time I'm going to go do a story mission and the guy's like, make sure you're prepared before we go. And then I go and talk to him immediately after. He's like, are you ready to go? And then you hit yes. And then it just takes you to where the mission is. It's like, what was any of this for?
Right.
What was any of the preparation? Well, did you side quest if you want to do? For why? I don't need to. I haven't run into anything in the game that I fought and I'm like, oh, I'm under leveled for this. I need to grind.
Yeah.
So like, it's just extra content so they can say, oh, our time to beat with 100% completion is like 60 to 80 hours. That makes your time worth. Like, no.
Yeah.
If I pay $70 for a 20-hour game and the story's great, I'm happy. If I pay $60, $70 for an 80-hour game that I couldn't beat, I'm unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. Yep. Like I said, I'm a little on the different. I definitely appreciate open world games. I love them.
Yeah, no, I know we're differing on it.
But I know, but I'm the same. Where if it's an open world with nothing in it and it's boring, I'm gonna call it out. Final Fantasy 16 was a perfect example of that. I don't know if I'd call that necessarily an open world game, but it had very big open areas and it was gorgeous. It was very pretty, but there's nothing in them. You know, there's there's the roving group of dudes you fight, you know, enemies. You might find a chest here or there, but it's like you made this awesome, beautiful world, and you could have done all sorts of different things. Like, okay, what can we do? Different events, different, you know, things that pop up. You know, just give me a reason to explore. Chests with more than just like crafting materials. You know what I mean? Like if I explore and I find a chest with a really cool sword, and occasionally you would find a weapon, but Rebirth was guilty of this too, where I'd open it, another thunder materia, thanks, like just the most shitty crap. Like give me some good incentives to explore. So yeah, Final Fantasy 16 was another one that was guilty of this. So but I know we kind of went off on a tangent, but that's fine, fuck it. But with Borderlands 4, I hope that, and they've said that they don't want it to just be an open world with nothing in it. You know, like they want to give you reasons to kind of stop and explore. And they've done that with Borderlands 3. They do hide chests and certain off-beaten paths and stuff like that. But hopefully with 4, they, like I said, if they have a world roaming bosses and like events happening, whether it's like, I got to defend this area against waves of dudes that are coming, and you know, I'm down for that. You know, that'd be cool. You know, it just gives it a little more flavor. And then you got side quests, main quests, you know, and you know, and that to me is kind of a good baseline. Like look at games like Witcher, Borderlands, you know, whatever. Like look at those types of games that do these, Ghost of Tsushima, do these things successfully. And I would just kind of like, obviously you're not gonna steal from them, but you can pull from them and, you know, get inspired by them.
Get ideas.
Yep. And another thing that I love, I know, get back to Borderlands, but another thing that I love about Ghost of Tsushima is how it does everything through. It doesn't just have everything on your HUD, right? Like if you hit a button, the wind blows and it tells you, I'm heading in this direction.
Yeah, it's got like,
I love that type of touch.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
like
I do
Dead
too.
Space is the same way, where everything's integrated into the game instead of an actual HUD.
Yep.
Yeah.
I loved how Dead Space did that.
I'm a little sorry. Would you mind riffing for like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Give me one sec.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Take your time. But yeah, um, just to, I guess to kind of go back to, well, yeah, Dead Space. I love Dead Space. How it had that where Isaac would just put his hand down and it would just give you a map direction of like which way you have to go. Like I love when games kind of do those little touches like that, where it's just not on the HUD. But I mean, it's not a deal breaker for me. Like Borderlands 4, I'm looking at it and it's the HUD is very similar to 3 or any of the other Borderlands games where you got your guns, your all your everything's there. But I do appreciate. I'm trying to think of a good shooter that does that, that kind of has like, you don't really have a HUD. It's all just kind of like what you're, I can't think of anything right now. Like I just have complete podcast / streamer brain where everything just shuts off. But yeah, Borderlands 4 does look really good. I'm excited about it. I like that they're integrating kind of like the melee. I was hoping they'd do that after playing, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I loved the melee weapons. I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised by them. I'm like, this is a game all about the guns, and the melee feels really good. So, I like what I'm watching. Like Rafa, like I like this. Like he's got these like like lightsaber, whatever micro energy, whatever the hell they're called, blades, and he's just kind of cutting through everything. So, so yeah, I like that. And then he can also like, depending on like if you go down a different tree, he has his turret pops up and shoots the guys, and so and that's really cool too. I'll probably end up going down that tree a little bit in both, but yeah, it looks good. The guns look good. The gunplay looks good. The traversal with all like you can dash, dodge, and use the grappling hook. But yeah, and in terms of the story, they said it's going to be like a more grounded take. They're still going to have humor, but it's just not going to be like that kind of cringy, always like what's relevant, hawk to a meme type humor, which, hey, it's funny. We can point and laugh at it and throw tomatoes at it, but it is funny, but they just overdo it, right? It's every time it's a joke, and if it feels forced, and it just feels like they have to, it's like, okay, we got to be funny, then you're just trying too hard. So I'm down for a more grounded take, like focus on the story, let's focus on the characters, maybe like make it good, and then maybe we can interject like humor throughout. So but yeah, it looks good. I don't know what more I can say about Borderlands 4. But yeah, it comes out September. I don't know the exact date, but yeah, September. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. I think we're all going to be playing that for sure. Otis, Fluff, and McJoven, a bunch of our other friends. So there's going to be plenty of people to play it with. So, and then yeah, we'll kind of give our impressions, and we're not professional critics or anything. Like we're not. we just play games like everybody else and just talk about them. So, but. We'll definitely give our like kind of how our thoughts and views on it and how we're feeling. So, but I think we'll have a good time. Looks pretty good. It looks a lot like Borderlands 3 in a good way. But yeah, let me see what next. What do we want to kind of go into next? And we can circle back if Otis wants to talk anything more about Borderlands 4. Oh man!
All right.
Yo, so no, you're good, man. Welcome back. I was just pretty much wrapping up Borderlands 4, so I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to talk about, or before we move on.
No, with Borderlands 4, I mean, just I'll give it a shot when it comes out. We'll see, and then I'm sure we'll probably discuss it on a future podcast after we play it.
Yep, for sure, absolutely.
No, that's all good.
All right, so next up, I've got Sony State of Play and the Xbox Game Fest. Do you want to go into that now, or you want to save that for the kind of like the end? Did you want to kind of move that to the end? I forgot you said that.
Well, there's probably a lot to go into with that.
There is.
So,
there's
like you said, we got Pragmata, Silent Hill F, Bloodstained, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe not, because like, what if how long did you want this one to go? Well, it's unprofessional to talk about now during.
Who cares? Who gives a shit? Show the other other podcasts on this, they do show meeting. It's a show meeting live. So no, fuck. Who cares? It's growing pains. You know what I mean? Like it's all good, man. We're gonna get better as we go, and whatever. It's all good. We could talk about. We save it for the back end if we don't even get to it. Whatever. Well, we could talk about it more next time. We could just break down the games in it. The actual show itself was fine. It was fine. They do a good job. They don't really show you analytics and all that crap so much anymore. Like all that shit bored us to tears. So they just games. Here's the next game. Here's the next game. Here's the next game. That's what I appreciate. They don't need to try to do stupid comedy skits and bullshit unless you think it's good. Unless you think it's funny, but most of them aren't. Most of them pretty cringy.
No, most of the time they're cringe.
The PC Gamer Show did that. It had a whole like sketch host, and every time I went back to them, it was a different skit. And sometimes it was like like a chuckle, like a
Yeah.
But most it was like, not this is fucking terrible. So just get back to the games. So
Yeah.
but I'm gonna bring up so yeah, if you want to go into, do you want to do Nintendo Switch 2? Do you want to kind of talk about Nintendo Switch 2 impressions?
Yeah, we can talk about Switch 2 a
Okay.
little bit, since it's been out since the beginning of the month. So it's almost been out for a whole month. And I guess the thing that a lot of people are talking about right now is games for it aren't selling. And I guess to that I can
What?
say no fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like there's not, and we talked about it a little off podcast, but
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
what? How do you expect to sell a lot of games with your system when you're offering a party game that is not a single player experience for anybody?
Yeah.
And that's the only like first party new thing you have for it. And then everything else you released for it is a port or a re-release or an HD remaster. Like, and on top of that, everything is either a game key or a code in a box.
Yeah, that's
Why do you think they're gonna sell?
Yeah.
I don't like, and you see, YouTube videos where like the thumbnail is like Nintendo's imploding and nobody's buying a game. It's just like I don't know why anybody is surprised by that.
Well, the
There's
systems were selling well, at least in the beginning, weren't
systems
they?
are the systems are selling really well,
Yeah.
but the problem
Need the
is
game
with
sell
the whole
too.
like, well, with the whole like, this is the fastest selling. We sold 3.5 million units
We're the
in
best.
4 days.
Are you proud of
And
me,
it's like,
Pa? Are you proud of
Yeah,
me?
but like it sold better than the PS5
That's
and the
right.
Switch One and the Xbox. Yeah, no shit. None of those things were available when they launched.
Actually. Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah, they
yeah,
weren't available. Yeah.
There's so many things, and like I'm assuming people can see the forest through the trees with these reports, but I
Mhm.
don't know. Maybe they can't.
Yeah.
But like
I'm dumb. People are dumb. I'm dumb.
when
So,
Switch One launched, like because I work at the big game store.
yeah, the big game store, baby.
I run a couple stores. Coops used to run
Ooh.
one, and so we've worked there. We know how it works. I've worked there for much longer than I should. And I can tell you,
Oh,
being
shit.
there for the Switch One launch,
Yeah.
we didn't even have half the units available that we had available for Switch 2.
Oh, wow.
Like when Switch 1 launched, I
Yeah.
think I remember we had like 40 or 45 units or something like that
Okay.
when it launched.
Mhm.
And that's like, per store. Switch 2, we had 200.
Damn. Oh, they were ready for this.
So like,
okay.
of course they're going to sell well because they knew they capitalized on PS5. Nobody could get them.
Yeah.
Xbox
no, they
X,
couldn't.
nobody could get them.
Nope.
Wii's, nobody could get them. Like they capitalized knowing this, and like just because we recently had the PS5 and the Xbox debacles where nobody could get them for
Yeah.
2 fucking years,
Mhm.
that like they're like, hey, let's just mass produce this bitch. People are gonna buy it, even if they don't think they need it, because they know they aren't gonna be able to get one.
Yeah.
Well, joke's on you. You can get these things fucking everywhere.
Right. And I
These
think
things
once the
are-
initial hype kind of dies, which is, I feel like it already starting a little bit,
Yeah.
at least it seems like that way to me. You're gonna
No,
end
it
up
is.
with 20 of them sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, if not more.
Why do you think I didn't get one?
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Like I'm
You
in
get-
about 2 months. I'm gonna have like 5 of them
Yep.
in my store used, and
Yep.
I'm gonna get them with my employee discount. I'm gonna wait until there's some kind
Oh,
of sale that
yeah.
benefits me,
Oh yeah.
and I'm gonna get a like new Switch 2
Yep.
that's a month old for like half the cost.
Yeah. To me, the only thing that would have, I guess, kind of kept the momentum up are games. Like they always ask this, like,
Yeah.
why would you buy a brand new system? Like, well, it's one of the number one reasons, right? And they listed like 4 different reasons, and one of it was like, just because it's the new system. The other was, it was like stupid multiplayer. The third reason was the games, and the fourth was something
Yeah.
stupid, doesn't even matter. And overwhelmingly, games won. People
Games.
are want to buy brand new systems for awesome games, and I get that sometimes, like, you're not going to have it ready enough, right? It's a new system, it's a new technology. Developers, publishers, they have to get time to get caught up with it. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. But how long has this been in development? You know what I mean? And Nintendo, they have partnerships with these companies that go, hey, we're working on the Nintendo Switch 2. We would like you to make this for it or that, like Metroid 4, and they are making it for it, right? Or we would like you to make the new Zelda. Now imagine if this thing launched with Metroid 4, a new Legend of Zelda, right? Whether it was like in that Breath of the Wild engine, like it was like the next
or
sequel
just a new one from the ground up.
Or a new one from the ground, which I would prefer, a new one from the ground up.
Sure.
This thing, I would buy one. I would want one. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I love Zelda. I love Metroid. Metroid isn't a system seller necessarily to me. I will definitely play Metroid. But or what else? What would be like Mario? A new Mario?
Well, yeah,
you know?
a new Mario. It needs it. The thing is like it needs for Nintendo, because Nintendo, at least I thought until this system, and it's shocking how, now in the company's, in my opinion, like evil era.
Oh no, it's bad. I know
they aren't getting it right. Like, look at all their other systems that didn't have a lot of games at launch, but
true.
Like Nintendo 64, it had 2 games at launch. It had Pilot Wing 64, and Super Mario 64, which is like arguably the best platformer of all time. People would consider it one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, I love Mario 64. Oh yeah.
It had a really good launch title. GameCube didn't sell well immediately. Actually, it didn't sell well in the grand scheme of things, but it still had a really good ass launch title in Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is a great game. I'm not saying it was their best thing they could have. They probably should have launched with Mario Sunshine.
Yeah,
if you wanted to have a system seller. And the Wii. What was the launch with the Wii? Was Wii Sports a launch title with the Wii?
Yeah, it came with it, and Zelda.
Yeah,
Twilight Princess.
Came with it, and Twilight Princess.
That's what made me buy the Wii.
Breath of the Wild. Like you had.
That's what made me want to Switch.
And then you look at the ones that don't do well, like the Wii U. What launched with the Wii U?
Oh God, what did launch?
Nintendo
Zombie,
Nintendo Land, and Zombie U.
Zombie U.
Which was
it was bad.
It didn't sell well.
No.
Now, granted, is that why it didn't do well and it died? No, it was a terrible thing to program for, and no companies wanted to program.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it, but
it was super cool.
I love the console controller. It was the prelude to the Switch. You know what I mean? It was the yeah.
But with Switch 2, like it's. You do get, it's the best-selling Nintendo console in like the first 4 days, but that's just because they made it available and they took advantage of like the supply being low in previous generations. So like, I don't think Nintendo really put forth that much effort to sell it. So it's disingenuous to say, well, this is the best-selling system, so the launch title doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like the first launch system after a pandemic. So
true.
I don't know. That probably helps in some way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not shocked that the games aren't selling. When you launch a system with Yakuza 0, Cyberpunk, Bravely Default, Street Fighter 6, like, dude, that's a great launch if all those games are new.
New. Exactly. Yep. And like
but Yakuza 0 is like fucking 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
And why would some people are like, oh, Cyberpunk, it's 40 frames and it runs pretty well if you have it undocked or whatever. And it's like, okay, like to me, buy a Switch 2 if you are on the go. If you're really like on the go, you love Nintendo type products and stuff, but it would not be the game I would buy to play new games. Like, not at all. Like Nintendo style games, like Witcher 3 looks terrible. Whatever I just saw, looked like a fucking PS2 game. Like, I'm not playing that shit on the Switch 2. I'm not playing Cyberpunk on the Switch 2. But if you loved Cyberpunk and you want it on the go, that's cool. I can.
That's fair.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Everyone has their own different tastes.
True.
Everyone likes things, even if they're not. So you will always get those random one-offs. But just as a whole, like saying like, oh yeah, this is gonna sell it. Like, no.
Yep, I agree with you. And for me, like I just said, for why I'm like, I don't really, the Wii, okay, it looks cool, and then I saw Twilight Princess. I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
no, I want one,
Yep.
fuck, and I had to have it. Same thing with the Switch. I was like, oh whatever, Breath of the Wild, man, it looks okay. Breath of the Wild, Schmeth, man.
I remember that. You were like, I don't think I need it. And then it was
Yeah.
like a week later, you're like, I got to Switch.
Yep.
I have to play it.
Yep. It was like, fuck, man. I was like, I got Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't need Breath of the Wild. And like, I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn. It was good. It was a good game. I was enjoying it. But then all of a sudden, I was like popping into streams watching Breath of the Wild. Like, oh god, okay, this looks okay. Man, I don't need it. I don't need it. It's fine. And I go back to playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not in denial. I'm not in.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
Yeah, dude, I was just in denial. I kept going back. I'd be like, "Oh, he's in Gerudo Village. This is I'm like, I don't want to see this, but this is really cool." And then I'd go back to Horizon Zero Dawn, like kind of grumbling, whatever. Okay, this is fine or whatever. And then I'm like, "Oh my god, he's like in the snowy mountains now. Oh my god!" And then I'm like, I couldn't. It was like. I'm no longer in denial. I want one. I have to have one. It's like, god damn it. And that's like what sold those systems was the games. Was Zelda, And now imagine if they like Switch 2 launched with like, I don't know. This is ridiculous. Not like Witcher 4 or the new Doom that it ran beautifully.
It needed one thing that's a single player game
that was
new to it.
Yes.
And like whether it's a Nintendo property or not, I don't know, but it needed one new thing. Yeah. And Mario Kart's just not it.
No, it's good.
Mario Kart's not it.
It's fun.
With Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out in like a couple weeks, why wasn't Bonanza a launch time?
True. Does that look? See, I don't give a shit about Donkey Kong, but does it look pretty good?
And I get it, but it does look really awesome.
Does it? Okay, cool.
Because it's like there's like you can destroy the environments with DK's fists.
Okay.
You literally can run around and punch things and just
people
put
will like
holes
it.
in mountains and buildings.
Oh, that's cool.
It's the first new 3D Donkey Kong game we've gotten since Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so they've all been 2D. Yeah, they've all been 2D.
Would it have sold as well as Zelda and Mario? No.
But it'd be something.
It would be something that's new and something that like everyone could enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's also something everyone could enjoy by themselves because it's a single player thing. Most people that are getting Switches, they're Switch 2s, they're not doing it to play online.
Yeah.
I don't think I know very many people that got a Switch 2 that like I got a group, we got together for Mario Kart. There's like 20 of us. It's great. Like,
right.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
No, I haven't either. Sure, they're out there, but it's more of a it's more of a rarity than it is the norm. People are buying Switch 2s just because they love Nintendo. You've got the diehards that are like, I'm just gonna buy it. Just so I have it. But yeah, is there anything right now that's like, oh, dude, I have to have this? No, nothing.
No,
not until
really.
I see, not until I see the new Zelda, not until I see something cool. Whether Duskbloods, I'm still not even really that excited about that.
I don't even have interest in it because it just looks like Night Rain. It's just Night Rain, but they don't want to call it Night Rain.
Yeah, it does very much. Yeah, it looks like Night Rain multiplayer, right? Bloodborne, Dark. It looks like everything. Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro. It looks like it's taking inspiration from everything they've done. So it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be good. But until it's closer to coming out, I just don't care. Like,
it's just like Night Rain. Night Rain's good. It's not what I want.
Right.
I don't want to play it.
Yeah, Night Rain, and we can get into that.
I'm
maybe
sure
someday,
there's the hardcore FromSoft nerds that are like, you're not a fan if you don't want to play it. It's like,
no, whatever.
I don't want to play like 3v PvE Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I'll just play Elden Ring and do the multiplayer mod and get a better experience. This is just playing, like, at least from what I've seen. I know there are bosses that are specific to it, but there's also a lot of stuff reused from Elden Ring.
Yes,
and it's like,
is.
why am I paying money for more reused assets?
Right, and other Dark Souls games as well.
Oh, yeah, because, like, Nameless King's in it.
And it is cool. Like, it is cool. I know we're going off on a Night Rain tangent, but
right.
Night Rain's cool. I'm enjoying it. Well, I can get into it more, but you're right. I get it. It's going to be very divisive. There's people that I'm enjoying it, but again, I've kind of put it on the back burner because of Dune and Deathstranding. I'm not really dying or itching to go back to it. Like, it'll be a game that I might go back to. I might not. So, but the reason why I think I like the traversal on Night Ring, how you can like you have that super sprint, the combat and like the unique abilities that each character has is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There are a good amount of things about Night Ring I like, and I think the number one reason like why I was kind of getting into it and playing it, it feels like a good 45-minute to an hour Elden Ring session. Like if you just don't want to restart Elden Ring or play Elden Ring again, you just want to just kind of have a nice quick 45-minute Elden, you know what I mean? That's what it kind of scratched that itch for me. So,
Sure.
But
No, and
anyway,
I
sorry.
get it. Like, I know I'm the outlier.
No,
Like, I'm
no.
gonna get, hey, look, this guy hates Elden Ring. Right
No, a lot of people were like, what the fuck is that? No, you are not the only one. This is definitely like, it might be 50-50 or where people are like, this is good to no, this is not what I want. So, but for all the people that are pissing and moaning, this is like their B team. You know, they're working on that big single play. I mean, yeah, they probably have another team working on Duskbloods, but you know, they're working on whether it's Elden Ring 2 or Bloodborne or whatever. Like they're working on that big single player RPG as well. So
yeah.
or they're making another Armored
sure.
Core. Or they're making another Armored Core. Get fucked, nerds.
Oh, fuck off. God damn it.
Well, Armored Core was good. Shut up.
If anyone does watch this, I'm going to make people angry. Armored Core 6 is garbage.
Didn't you get to like the very end of it too?
I got to the final boss and I cooped that shit. Because
Oh,
the input
man.
reading on it is insane.
Yeah.
All from tough games input read. Not like this, they don't.
Oh,
This
shit.
legitimately
Looks sweaty.
felt like I was being molested by the computer.
Just bending you over, giving you the
It
business.
knew every move. I couldn't fight it no matter what.
Yeah, it's like when
Every
you
single thing I did, it would counter.
so like when you go to heal Estus, that's when the enemy comes in. Like it
Yeah.
input, it knows what you're doing.
Any input.
Yeah,
Any input.
oh.
You'll sit there waiting for it to attack because you know, like, okay, if it attacks,
I can counter.
then I can counter.
Yep.
And it just sits there and waits and waits. And then you do that thing, you're like, all right,
Come
fuck
on.
it. If he's not going to attack, I'll
I'll
attack.
do it.
As soon as you get the word attack
Okay.
out, he hits you.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
That's
it is
input
such
reading.
bad input reading
Yeah.
that I don't understand. And apparently, there's multiple final bosses you can get, and I picked the hardest one.
Ooh, nice.
Didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
But just the fact that that is possible, it's like, okay, well, I guess fuck
Yeah.
me then, right?
Get fucked, nerd. But yeah.
But yeah, Switch 2,
Yeah.
not surprised it's not selling games. The system itself is selling fine. I think it'll hit a very sharp drop off in sales once people realize A, there's nothing to play with
Yeah.
on it, and B,
I agree.
you can get them everywhere. Like, people aren't going to want to get these things after maybe a couple months. Like Christmas, maybe it'll go back and get an uptick in it.
Mhm.
But I can see it probably being like October, November. Stores are going to have stockpiles of used ones that we're trying to offload.
And part of me like that, you never really hear about that. Like I'm kind of happy that Nintendo is oversupplied them because you know it's supply demand. They always never have enough. People always sell out of them, and it creates that level of demand. And then you got scalpers and people selling the shit out of them, right, for ridiculous prices. And it seems like Nintendo's trying to combat that. So there is a part of me that likes that. To me, there's no reason why there shouldn't be enough systems. You should have plenty of them. But if you, without having the launch, it's like, okay, you made the supply appropriate, that's nice, but if you don't have the launch titles to support that supply, you're right, you're gonna have too many. You're gonna have a bunch of systems sitting in.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they made them a little, without having the launch titles, and they almost made them a little too readily available. You know, like I hate to be that guy that's like, we need to cut them back. But you also, from a business set perspective, you don't want to send a store 100 Switch or 200 and only sell 50 of them. You know what I mean? Like that's not good either. And then you're just sitting on stock. You know, so
Sure. No, I mean, to their
but
credit,
it's
we
a
sold them
balance.
all, but it's
That's
just them
true.
cashing in on that.
That's good.
Like the just the fear that nobody was going to have them.
Yeah. See, look, this is Cyberpunk running 30. And then now it dropped down to 24 frames right then and there. It's like, I'm throwing it in the trash. If it can't even sustain.
Did it
like,
drop to 24?
It dropped
you
to
said?
24. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's noticeable drops. Like, 30 frames does not feel good anymore to play a shooter. So that to me for Switch 2, like, if you're gonna make the Switch 2 and make it someone for like gamers are gonna play, like normal people who are like, it's got to be 60 frames. And I know it's not, but if it was 60 frames, it runs everything at 60 at bare minimum. I'm more looking at it. You know what I mean? I'm more okay. Cyberpunk 60 frames on the go, that's kind of cool. But that's just like a little more of a boon to me than it is I'm definitely gonna go buy it. But it's the game, it's the games first, and like you said, and no, it does not have the titles yet. So someday I'm sure I'll have one. You know, a year, 2 years, I'm sure I'll pick one up. And like you said, just get it used, get it cheap, just get a discount on it, and that then do it that way. So, but yeah, anything positive really to say? Like,
well,
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not a bad system.
No, that I don't mean to paint a picture like it's a bad system.
Nope, I know.
It's the system itself. Like, am I going to get one? Yeah, eventually.
Yeah,
Do I think it's worth $500? Not at all.
No.
Now, do I have a problem with that price point? No, because there's a lot of people who are like, dude, it's $300 for the Switch One. Now it's $500. What do they fucking do it? Like, okay, well, it's a stronger system. You want them to make a better system and not be more expensive?
They're probably losing money on them anyways.
That's not my concern.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's just worth $500, mostly because, I wouldn't be playing it. I don't. There's nothing on it for me to play.
Yeah.
So I'll get one once it's cheaper. And there's some features on it I really like. I got to fuck around with the mouse feature.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Is it?
That's so cool.
It works pretty well.
Being able to just flip it on its side and then you can just use it like a mouse.
That's cool.
Like you're showing right there.
Yeah.
And like they even have an attachment you can plug the Joy-Con into where it gives it a wider base, so it feels like a mouse.
Oh, cool.
Holding.
Awesome.
And so when like Metroid comes out, fantastic.
Yeah.
I hate playing shooters on a controller.
Yeah.
So having the flexibility to use the thing, that's great.
Yeah, that's nice.
I saw Breath of the Wild because a coworker brought it in and showed me Breath of the Wild on it. Blew me the fuck away to see it playing at 60 frames per second.
That is cool.
And it was beautiful. I was like, you know what? If I do get a Switch 2, or when I do, I will replay Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, for sure.
You know me, I don't enjoy replaying games, even though it's Zelda and it's my fucking favorite series that exists. I don't like replaying games, and I probably will replay those because of how well they run.
Yeah.
So I think the Switch 2 is a good system. Do I think it's like as good as Nintendo thinks it is? No.
Yeah. Well, no, right.
But I mean, I don't think it's a bad system. I think their numbers are inflated due to fear, and they needed to launch with better games.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me, man.
It is what it is.
Yep. Let me see. Yeah, you know what? It is me making you go black. Your camera go out because every time I bring up my taskbar, it just goes. It blacks out. So
I mean that's fine.
Nice.
It doesn't. It's not permanent. It comes.
No, it comes right back. But that's just stupid annoying crap.
Yeah,
so let's see. So we actually we can go into. We talked about this Stranding already. If you wanted to talk about fuck all that. It's good. It's good. Doesn't matter. If you want to talk about some kind of dumb streamer slop shit, did you want to go into Stop Killing Games? Did you kind of want to talk about?
Yeah, if we can. It's the thing is we just probably got to wrap up in about like 15.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, but I mean, everyone's talking about it, so I mean, we might as well put in our 2 cents on it.
Sure. I'll bring it up too.
I think Pirate Software is right. No, I'm kidding. So
I agree with him completely.
I think everyone should stop bullying him. No,
right.
Not that I'm advocating bullying, but I do think that man is possibly the dumbest person ever who thinks that he's the smartest person ever. And we're talking
shit.
We're like Elon Musk levels of, and like at least with Elon Musk, like he's an idiot, but you still can say he at least made some shit.
Yeah, true.
Dude, Pirate Software can't even make anything. How long has he been doing that Heartbound game and trying to get people to? He can't fucking make that shit. But he's always, I'm a dev. Hold on, I got to make. I got a really deep voice. I'm a dev, and I'm right, and I use Paint to get my ideas across.
I know I need to bring Microsoft Paint up right now.
You need to pull up Microsoft Paint.
Do I even? Do I have it?
I'm sure you do.
If it comes with the computer. There it is. There's Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, like it's honestly at this point
screen.
now. The thing that's upsetting is it's a lot less about the movement, and it's more about him being an egotistical man baby.
Yeah, he can't admit that he misrepresented it.
He misrepresented the shit out of it, and he just can't admit it. And there's literally even a clip of like him asserting something that this initiative was doing, and there's a slide right behind him showing that they don't want him to do what they say he's doing.
Yep.
So like it's just it's insane to me that there are people who have that kind of platform and that kind of influence, and they can just be so wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I'll stream to like 20 people, and if I say something wrong, like that someone immediately can correct me on, I get embarrassed. Like, oh my God, someone could have believed me. I could have been wrong. Someone could have went and they would have went to their friends and been like, hey, this happened. And then like, they're wrong. And then they come back to me and it's like,
That Otis
dude,
is an idiot.
that's embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
Like, and this guy does it for tens of thousands. I don't know how many people watch the streams. I've never
Oh,
watched a stream. I
they're
only
big.
ever see clips.
He's big. Oh yeah, he's big.
Got tens of thousands of
Yep.
people watching him, and they'll just believe what he says.
Living on Ego
because
Mountain.
He has a deep voice, and his dad worked at Blizzard.
Yep, and he pulls
So,
up
like,
Microsoft Paint.
He pulls up Microsoft Paint because, honestly, I think part of that is he knows, and
Skibbity,
this is probably going to get me canceled, but he knows his viewership is so stupid they can only respond to pictures. So,
oh, shit.
like, that's why he does it. Like, it was probably charming at first, and then he realized his viewers are all, can't understand what you say.
Yeah.
Draw a picture.
Please draw a picture for me.
So, like, I don't know. I just, yeah, it is very shocking to have that kind of influence and be
Yeah.
so wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
his we've all met people like him too. I've had like, I'll say in quotations, like friends like him that they seem like they're kind of cool on the outside, you know, like okay, he seems smart, you know, but then something will happen, whether it's a debate, a conversation, whether a movie, something comes up about Star Wars, whatever, normally some nerd shit, and then they're like,
Sure.
actually, his name was Anakin Skywalker, and he was from Tatooine, you know, whatever. Like, you're skibbity, you're wrong about this, and then you're like, well, wait a minute, it could have been this. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm misremembering, but it could be. Well, no, do your research. Like, they just can't help but like kind of like make you feel stupid about it. And then if you're if they're wrong and you're thinking in the back of your mind, I think they're wrong about this. Like, they just double down, triple down. Like, no. And then you could even bring up, okay, now we all have computers in the palm of our fucking hands that we can Google and find out right away. And that's one of my favorite things to do. You know, is just like, okay, I'm gonna look it up. And well, you know, wait a minute. Well, you don't have to do that. Yeah. It's like, well, look it up and then
they
go.
get offended that you look
right. Like, oh, come
Why
on.
are you looking up? I just told you.
Right. Well,
Like,
I just told you. What article? What article's that? Oh, AI.
I'm sorry. Well, I feel like I have a differing opinion, so I'm gonna look it up.
Right. What was
No,
that?
you're not allowed to do that.
Yep. You can't trust that article. Who said that? You can't
Yeah.
trust that. It's like,
Oh
right,
my
you just
God.
can't admit that that you're wrong. You just have some sort of ego, you know. It's
Well,
and they bury them 10 times worse. They
I'm
make
sorry.
it no. They just make it 10 times worse than it needs to be, as opposed to just laughing about it and being like, okay,
Yeah.
my bad, I was dumb. I'm a dumbass. Here you go. This is what I said. This is what it is. You know, I still don't like it because A, B, C, and D. But this is what it is.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do. I misrepresented it, and we'll go into exactly what happened. But
the thing that I saw a video that, like, you know, obviously his whole thing is he's misrepresenting it, and he seems to be very concerned about, like, you know, live service games or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, indie developers that do live service games, they can't maintain their game for forever. Like, that's his concern.
yeah,
Well, apparently, like, he's working on a live service game. So
so they're
shocking that he has a problem
I see.
with this initiative.
I'm gonna have to do something.
But again,
this is me.
if he took the time to understand what the initiative was about,
Yes.
he would realize that they're not asking indie devs to forever be beholden to the live service game they make.
No.
They're just saying, when you decide to jump ship on it, make the tools available for your community
Yep.
so they can keep it running if they want.
Yes. And
That's it.
Yep. Not at the expense of, like, if it leaks some sort of, like, code, or, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
They don't want the code. They
Yeah.
don't want people to leak the codes.
Yeah.
They don't want anything like that. They just want to be able to, like, even in games like he used as an example, WoW, like, you
Yeah.
can make private servers
yes,
for WoW
people
for
already
only
do.
you and your friends.
Yep.
You can already do that.
And-
So that's all they want, is just for you to continue to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's like the cost and the onus now is on the consumer. You know what I mean? The developer is done. The publisher is done. Let's say, right, use WoW as an example. And it's a bad example because they're not even targeting MMOs and shit. But to
Correct.
use WoW as an example, they're like, Pirate Software, oh, they're gonna have to make it a single player game and make it all to where all the raids are soloable. Like you're asking to the developers, and they're like, no.
Where did he pull that
Dude,
from?
that's what they're even asking. That's what they're saying.
He literally made that up out of
right,
nowhere.
because he completely misunderstands it. Or like Destiny 2, like Bungie have to make it to where everyone can play it. Everything can be soloable, single player. They're like, no, that's not what they're asking. And they're not even really talking about those like live service MMO games specifically. They'd like them to be included in it, but they're more or less talking about like multiplayer games, some single player games. They've got it kind of thrown in there that, like you said, they have an always online component. And they do not want publishers, developers to have the ability to kill that game in 5, 10, 15, 20 years and be like, we're done supporting it. It's dead. It's gone. Like, that's it. Because it protects consumers. If you spend $60, $70 on a game, they want to make sure that that they can't just, a publisher can't just decide, nope, we're done supporting it. And then you can't play it anymore. They're not telling you, oh, they have to keep developing. They have to make sure it's playable. They have to keep just have like an end of life plan to release it to the customers so they can continue to play it. They are not telling you to support it with updates, anything like that. Just make sure that it's in somewhat of a playable state. If the game can ever be updated again and you're just kind of driving around in a court, it is what it is. At least it's something somewhat playable. You know what I mean? So they're not telling, and they're not trying to dictate like how developers develop games. Like they're just not. They're just trying to make sure that you buy a product, it is playable to the end of time. So that's it. You know, and like I said, for example, if Blizzard's like, hey, we're done with WoW, we're washing our hands of it, they already have private servers. The cost was on the consumer. If they want to pay to keep those servers up, it's not on Blizzard, it's not on the publisher, it's not on them, it's on the consumer. So they are washing their hands of it, they're done, and they're on to their next project. That's all they're asking. So
no, it's not a very hard concept to grasp. It's not like, I don't think it would be the thing is like before maybe the last like 5 years, dude, there's tons of games that have already been doing that.
Yes.
There's games that have already been doing that.
Yep.
Like City of Heroes is a MMO where you make superheroes, right? The servers for those have not been supported by the developing company for like 15 years, 10 years.
Yep.
And yet they're still online and people are still playing in that community.
Yep, they can still play it.
It's not, this is not a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
They literally already have like the blueprint to do it.
Yes.
They can't monetize it anymore. They want to get rid of it. So they can't monetize it and they just want to take it away. They made their money. But like, no, it's fucked up. Especially if you have microtransactions. Like you're doing...
You spend a lot more than the base game.
Can you imagine if Fortnite closes, how much money people will lose?
Oh my god!
I mean, they've already lost it. Like, it's not like they get any value from the skins. But like, dude, so much money gone in skins alone. Even like our mutual friend, who he's probably spent hundreds of dollars on skins, and he doesn't even like the game that much.
Yeah.
But so it's wild to me that Pirate Software would be like, nope, it's not good. Like, dude, you are so two-faced, it's insane.
Yeah. So even right here, it's require video games sold to remain in a working state when support ends, just in a working state. Require no connections to the publisher after support ends, right? So once the publisher's done, it's done. There's no connections to them. They move on, right? Not interfere with any business practices while a game is still being supported. So if the game is still being supported, they're not telling you release it to the customer or do anything like that. Like, the game's still being supported. If this is just an end of life plan, like once the game is done, the developer, publishers, they're done with it, they can move on, and the customer can still play it. That's all there is to it. But if you want more updates, if you want more content, that's on the modders, that's on the people who are playing it. You know what I mean? That's on the player base. The developer and publisher, they're washing their hands of it. So, and again, if you have problems with that, or you want to argue against something, I guess, but to misrepresent it, to say, well, they're going to have to support WoW forever, and that's just not, financially feasible, and they're going to have to support. No, that is not what they're saying. Stop saying that. And then when they call him out on it, he's just like, nah, still don't get it.
Yep. Nope.
It's
you don't think of it from the developer mindset like I do.
Yeah.
Guy who's never actually developed a game
Right.
that continues to say he's a developer.
Yeah.
At least I don't think he has. I think Heartbound is his only thing, right?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, I don't think he's done anything else. I think besides Heartbound. So
I'm googling it really quick.
yeah,
just to
go
check.
ahead. No, I don't know. I could be talking to my ass too. I don't think he has. But
It looks like the two. He's got some game called Champions of Breakfast, which I've never heard of.
I'm sure it's awesome.
And then Heartbound. Yeah. So
Just-
okay, I'm
I
sorry.
don't get it.
He has
A lot of
developed-
experience.
What the fuck is this?
He has a lot of experience.
I'm looking at Champions of Breakfast right now.
Awesome. Is it on Steam?
It is on Steam.
Nice. How is it? Is it awesome? Overwhelmingly positive reviews.
It's what?
Oh boy.
It's
Should I bring it
it's
up?
a shmup, so a shoot 'em up, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's a shmup where you're a kitchen utensil shooting other breakfast foods. That's it.
Oh, that sounds
This is a flash
awesome.
game. This is a flash game.
Awesome. It's like a Newgrounds game back in the day.
This is a Newgrounds flash game.
Oh boy.
So
Uh,
I could make this.
yeah.
No, this does not count.
Yeah. Yeah. There might be some sort of I read something, like a development. He had a conversation with Josh Strife Hayes. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty. I see him around YouTube short. He seems like a good dude. I don't really watch his streams a lot, but he seems like a British guy. Seems like a good dude. They had a conversation, so I don't know. Maybe he's starting to come around, but I'm gonna look into it a little bit to find out if he's finally starting to okay, I think I get it now. If you're not understanding it, just say I'm really not understanding it. What exactly is going on here? Because I'll admit, there was a couple times early on where I was a little confused. I was watching Moist Critical's video and I was like, well, okay, I get it here, but I don't get it here. And then I watched the video and I was like, okay, it all makes sense. By the end of it, it makes sense. So if you're not understanding, and then Moist and Josh got together in the call with Pirate Software to explain it, and he still was doubling and tripling down because he just cannot admit he's wrong. So it's just silly. It's at this point, just dude, you make it 10 times worse. Everyone's just gonna rip on you and make it worse for you. If I'm your agent, if I'm whatever, just your advice guy, it's just say, you know what, I'm an idiot. Ha, my bad, misunderstood, and this is actually what it is, and that's it, and move on with your life.
No,
but
you can't do it.
But now,
Dude, well, I don't.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was still talking about the Pirate Software, but
Yeah.
I don't know, if you knew about his other controversy, before the WoW thing and
before the WoW
this,
thing. The WoW thing was amazing. I'm gonna bring that up.
Did you hear about the Animal Well controversy? You know
Yeah.
what the game Animal Well is?
Oh, I know Animal Well. Yep.
So apparently there's a secret ending in that game. I don't know anything about it. This is just a video I saw recently because I watched all this other Pirate Software stuff, so this came up. But there's a secret ending in Animal Well that I guess took a bunch of people who are good at finding Easter eggs weeks to figure out how to get the secret ending, this special ending. And then Pirate Software has a stream. He figures it all out in the first sitting. And he constantly looks away from his screen, so people think he's looking at his phone or looking at a different monitor.
No,
And
he's just so smart.
Every time he looks away and he comes back, he does oh, wait a minute. Hold on, guys.
It's coming to
I
me.
think I might know what to do. And he just goes and does the thing. And he's claiming that he figured it out because he is so goddamn smart.
Oh my god, dude! I heard about not that game, but I heard about he does this, and it happened in Outer Wilds, and it happened in Blueprints, where all of a sudden it's the same thing, right? He's like, okay, guys, skibbity toilet, I can figure this out. And he's stuck, doesn't know how to figure it out, and then all of a sudden, he's like, huh, and he looks off to the side. Wait a minute. oh god, like the Tom Hanks Da Vinci Code moment. He's just, it's come to me. It's this, and he just solves it. It's like, dude, what do you like? If it, like that would be funny if you like leaned into that. You know what I mean? Like, make it obvious, make it a joke. But no, it's real. He wants people to believe that he's smarter than he is. You know what I mean?
Does.
It's a narcissistic, egotistical, like, I need people to think I'm smart. I need people to like me. I'm not wrong. But really, to be wrong is normal. It's humility I mean, it's one thing to be constantly wrong. Like if you're Alex Jones just spewing off shit constantly, nonsense, you know what I mean?
Making a frog is gay.
Yeah. Exactly. I know. I see that frog jump down my dick is gay. He was my dick. No, like, yeah, you're just saying crazy shit, of course. But how many times have you been wrong in your life? How many times have I been wrong in my life? And I will continue to be wrong.
Not once.
Yeah, never once. Hey, I'm humble, but I've never been wrong. Okay, I'm just saying.
Like, hey, I don't want you to get an idea. Okay, I'm not big-headed.
Yeah,
I've just never been
wrong. It's just the way it's worked. You're careful. You're very careful with your words and what you say. You're never wrong. So no, it's like, dude, and this is the wild thing. I don't know. We missed when he ran. I have to. I'll play this again. And people don't know, and I'm sure they do. This happened way a long time ago.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Then it plays like the Always Sunny music and shows like the robe that gives him mana, the item that gives him mana.
I always just picture the Forrest Gump meme where he's just running.
Yep.
Where Pirate Software just runs away.
There he goes, dude. He's just gone. He's just running away.
Where I would get to the. Oh, so this is before it. Here we go. It's like, okay, I'm gonna save him. Nope. Nope, I'm out of
he
here.
does a blizzard for half a second. He did have a half a second blizzard. Like, if you've ever played a Frost Mage, you know that what he just did, I don't even think it did a tick of damage. It didn't slow. It didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Why am I walking away?
Yeah.
Let me open Paint. I'll show you why I'm walking away.
Right. Yeah. Let me use Paint real quick. Let me see. You see, that's. Oh, I don't know how to play. That's them, right? And there's the big guys right there going after them. Okay, and this is the boss right here. And there's me. There's me right there. And I got what you'd like to say is I got scared, so I started to run away as fast as I possibly could. What was I supposed to do? I had no mana. I couldn't do nothing. I had
to run away because they were going to rework this dungeon and make it single player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right, I was gonna do it by myself, make it a single player dungeon, but yeah, dude, it's just and they were like calling him out and being like, just you say you ran, dude. It's no big deal. I mean,
that's it.
This
dude,
is permadeath.
He's playing hardcore.
Right,
they're all playing hardcore.
Yep.
People lost their characters. They've spent hundreds of hours on. Even if you legitimately think you weren't at fault, which if you think that, you're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But just be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I ran. They lost hundreds of hours.
Yeah. Just and they also they have them. I don't have an Eclipse right now, but they have clips of him literally going, "Hey, you're the mage, man. You got to save the group when the shit hits the fan.
Yep.
You're the one that's got to do this or that." Like, and I've watched people just run away, and it just kills me when they don't know how to play the character or whatever, like, and save the group. And he does this exact thing, you know, like he does the thing that he's talking about.
Yep.
So he's supposedly this high level WoW player. Like he's supposedly
he is in his head.
Yeah, exactly. So he should have known I can A B C D. This is what I'm supposed to do. It's one thing if you're just kind of new at it, but this is hardcore WoW. You have to have some level of experience in the game. You know,
I don't even play Frostmage, and I know in that situation what he could have done to help his team.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Go ahead.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
No. Just like his Blizzard thing, when he did the Blizzard, I think he did that because he was trying to get the slow debuff on them to get them away.
Okay.
But he channeled it for half a second. So it didn't do anything.
Right.
And I don't know if he has Frost Nova or not on his build, but Frost Nova, also a really easy ability to run in Frost Nova. It roots everybody, like enemies, to the ground, so then they can run away. That's all he has to do. Yeah. And he's got Blink. He's a fucking mage.
Right, he blinks away.
You have Blink. You have Polymorph.
Yeah.
I don't have mana. You have an item that gives you mana. You have a robe that gives you mana. You have so many things you could have done.
Yep.
and you just ran away. Well, you called run, so I'm listening to the call.
Yep, that's his defense. And they said, no, we said come back. We need help. Like, unless they say there is a word for it. Quinn was talking about it, like pot out or something. That's like you're done. Everyone for themselves. Run for your life. There's like a potion or something you can use, and they make fun of hardcore players for having it or whatever, but it's you can save your character or whatever, like you can whatever it is. And if they say that is every man for themselves. But until that point, the whole idea of the game is to save each other, like help each other out, work as a unit, as a team. Is one thing if someone's playing like a jackass or trolling and you're like, hey, or doing bad pulls consistently, right? Then he should have said that, like, hey, these guys don't know what they're doing. I don't want to get my character killed. You know what I mean? This is hundreds of hours of playtime, content, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, fine. But no, he didn't say that. He was, I have no mana. What do you want me to do? And that's what he abandoned them. And then the frustration. He goes, hey guys, let's pump the brakes. It is a video game, for one. And two, you're right. I'm sorry. I roached out. I ran for my life scared. I panicked, and I'm sorry.
That's all you got to do. Yeah.
And then they go, yep, cool, man. And that's what made he got kicked out of that guild, whatever. But he got kicked out of OnlyFans just because it was like he doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. And the thing is, like, yeah, it's just a game. I get it, but it just shows you kind of the character of someone.
His character is so shitty. He's really good at playing the victim.
Yes,
and I realize the irony of this because at the beginning of this, I'm like, the initiative fell to the wayside because everybody's talking about how shitty a person he is, and that's exactly what we're doing.
No, you're right, but that's what happened. Yeah.
But like the whole like the stop killing games thing, there's like clips of him looking at it, and they cut it up a bunch where for like a solid 30 seconds or 45 seconds, he goes, "This is shit. This is stupid. This is trash. This is a dumb idea. This is the dumbest idea I've ever seen. I'm going to actively tell people to not support this. This can eat my whole ass. Yeah. This is this, and this is shit." And he just keeps going in and in and in and in. And then he put out that tweet yesterday or the day before, playing the victim.
Yep. Oh, I killed
Your
it.
community is so toxic.
It's all my fault.
Like he's complaining to the guy who did the stop killing games.
Yeah.
He's like he's attacking him and accusing him like, your community comes into my streams and they're mean and they say crass
so
things
nice
and they're
too.
spiteful and you're mean and like, dude, you literally you just came out and you're like, this is the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
You're stupid. Eat my ass. I don't support this. I'm going to activly tell people not to support this. And then when people are mean to you, no, I'm a victim. Please be easy on me. Like,
I'm being bullied. Stop it.
Thor of pirate software, you need to get off the internet. And I know that sucks because that's your entire life, but you will not grow as a person and realize how terrible a human being you are until you get off the internet.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's never going to happen because he doesn't have the skills to do anything outside of the internet, it would seem. I don't want to accuse him of that. Maybe he does. Maybe he's super crafty and he can make shit out of nothing.
All right.
But if you can do that instead, bud. The internet's not for you.
Yeah, because this isn't working. I mean, he's got success to say, you know what I mean? Like he's doing well enough for sure. But
I mean,
he'd be like, who the hell are you guys?
Success that like think of like a shitty mean celebrity, not one that's done shitty like awful things, but just think of like a mean celebrity, someone that you've heard, they're terrible to work with, they're kind of an asshole, those people are still successful. Do they have friends? No.
Yeah,
do people like them? They pretend to because they have money. Yeah. Do they have real friends? No.
Yeah, they get misery and they're surrounded by sycophants, people that just smell their farts and worship the ground they work on for fear, like this, you pay the bills. You don't get true friends around you. You don't get people that, that tell you, hey man, I think you're like, and again, it's not that you can have your own thoughts and opinions. You can disagree. We disagree on things, but it's one thing to just be, not just destroy each other over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just be so egotistical and narcissistic to be like, no, you're just wrong. And this is wrong. Like, okay, then tell me why it's wrong. Well, it's wrong because they have to support WoW. It's like, no, you're wrong. Like, you're misrepresenting it. And then, like you said, to act the victim, to say, oh, everyone's bullying me and, this is nonsense and this is not fair. And it's like, well, you misrepresented it and you are a big creator. You have a huge impact. Millions of people watched that video. and it's gonna spread. Like, you absolutely affected it, no matter what. Oh, just blame me, it's all my fault. It's like, well, no, it's not all of your fault. No one is saying that, and that's what he'll do. That's play the victim, right? To try to garner sympathy. And we all laughed. I just laughed my ass off, but it's like, no, dude, we're not saying that it's your fault, you dork. What we're trying to say is you misrepresented it. Just come out and say, my bad. This is what it actually is. If you still don't support it, that's fine. No one cares. But you're actively attacking it, and you are just saying wrong. You're just wrong about it, and you just can't admit. So I feel like I'm talking in circles, but yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
he drives me crazy.
Randomly, on a side note, just because I was looking at the other Pirate Software games, he needs to stop calling himself a dev. Because while he is technically developing games, the only 2 games he's completed that are on Steam are both shmups.
Yeah,
and
so he's just
they're not high level. They don't look
right.
They do not look good. They look very bare bones flash game, and it's so funny. You go to negative reviews. You get boring and repetitive game. Also, Thor is a stubborn asshole whose mind cannot be changed even if there's evidence.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh god.
The dev is a nepo baby and a corpo shill. This next review is negative, and it just says talk to Ross, who's the guy who started the initiative.
No, he seems like Ross. Seems like I don't know much about him. I need to go back and kind of dive in that video a little bit more. But he seems like a pretty decent guy. It's a great cause. It needs 1 million signatures. I think from the EU. I don't think from the US. It's weird because they're trying to get a petition to go in Britain because it's easier than it is in the United States.
Apparently it's easier.
Yeah. So, but no, I should link it or show people, but it's called, just Google "Stop Killing Games," and look into it if you're interested in it because it's a good cause.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's coming up on the end of its lifespan, so it probably isn't going to go through.
No, it probably
but that's
won't.
not to say that they can't start another one.
Yeah, sure. Just make it. Yeah, for sure.
So if you educate yourself on this one, you'll be ready for the next one that pops up, whether it's in the UK or the United States or something.
No, that's a good point.
But yeah, I wish it would have gotten a lot more visibility.
Yeah.
I feel like the guy who started it said he didn't want to call Thor out on the drama aspect because he didn't want the focus to be on drama.
Yeah, I know.
He wanted it to be the initiative.
He did.
But looking at it now, he probably should have.
Yep. Because you get more eyeballs.
Should have called him on it.
Drama.
It would have gotten more clicks, more views. Because before this thing went big, 4 or 5 days ago, I think the petition had 475,000, and then after the 4 days, it got to 515,000. So it literally got 40,000 more signatures in 4 days because of the drama.
Yep. And you know what?
So,
Pirate Software inadvertently is helping. He really is, because we're all laughing at him and throwing tomatoes at him, and people are going to sign. So because they're hating on him, and they're going to go sign the petition. So hopefully it helps them, But I mean, it is obviously. But yeah, will it make it? Probably not. But like you just said, just start another one then. So, but
hopefully,
but yeah, so you got to get going here, or we do, I should say. But
yeah. Well, we gotta, take off. Hopefully, future ones will be longer once time constraints sort of get figured out. But this still, how long was this one?
Oh, we're at 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Cool. Very good.
We aim for 2.5 is what I'd say. So if it goes to 3, cool. But but yeah, I'd aim for 2.5. So. But yeah, this is awesome, man. I had a great time, and thanks for
yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for listening, watching, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends.
It to the end.
Yeah. Tell everybody.
My God.
Spread the word.
And subscribe.
Yeah, we need that fat stack of cash. Please, Daddy. This is.
I guess I'll do the shameless plug.
Yeah, do it.
Yes, we do have the Dim Frenemies podcast, but we do also have I tend to stream, a couple days a week over at Dim Frenemies.
Yes, sir.
Twitch TV /Dim Frenemies. Yeah, I think I'm going to be on there after the podcast, but this should be uploaded pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll send it to you and we'll get it uploaded.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll get it
yeah.
uploaded.
Episode 1.
So, yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. And I guess we'll catch you in the next one,
Yeah.
right?
All right. I think that's it. I think we're good, right?
Welcome to the cum zone.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Only come inside anime girl.
But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. The thing that really helps us the most, just listening is awesome. And if you can tell a friend, that would be great. Just a little bit of no one probably does and will. I understand, but if you do, we greatly appreciate it. But that's it.
No, they'll tell
That's it.
everybody. They'll tell everybody.
That's right.
Don't say that. They'll tell everybody.
That's right. Tell everybody. Tell everyone around. Just go outside and just yell it from your roof. Climb up in your roof safely and just yell it outside, and that's how we'll do it. So, but yeah,
Very good.
that's all I got. Thanks for listening, everybody, tuning in, and we will catch you next time, baby.
Bye.
And it's the starting screen because I don't have a.
We'll fix it. Don't bring mention to it.
I know.